Let's get nasty on a Thursday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. 202, your time check, brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie off the next couple of days as he travels to Vegas. I think he's going out there with his brother. So he'll be off today and tomorrow. And we start off with a very interesting rumor by Incarcerated Bob. If you remember Incarcerated Bob on Twitter.
What did he get locked up for?
I don't know. I don't know. This was the person that was ahead of the Paul Goldschmidt trade by like a few days. He was also linked to a couple of other, I wouldn't call them small moves, but in free agency, maybe some smaller moves, including Steven Matz. We don't know who his sources are, but it's kind of like Antonio Brown, guys, where Antonio Brown.
CT, ESPN.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clearly you're talking to somebody, and he's got somebody that's got some information that has turned out to be accurate.
I believe he had Nolan Arenado's too.
Did he?
Well before. I think Arenado was traded February 1st of 2021, and he tweeted something out. Looked like it was April 19th of 2020 that the deal for Nolan Arenado had been 90% completed, and then MLB was shut down.
Right. So he also, and I'm looking at this one too, Cardinals and Diamondbacks once again in serious talks revolving around Paul Goldschmidt. Talks last 24 hours picked up between both clubs. Stay tuned. This was all before the fact. Also was ahead again of the Steven Matz deal. And as Marsh just noted, the Arenado deal. So I do not want to come on here and say, this is just somebody that's trying to stir something up. He's got some receipts linked to the Cardinals too, not just every team, but specifically with the Cardinals. So this is what he tweeted out at some point. Was it last night or this morning? About Oli Marmol. He said that I'm trying to look for it. I'm going through something. Here it is. Source, Cardinals manager Oli Marmol is starting to lose supporters in the front office, and the current feeling is he has 2 to 3 weeks to turn this season around before possible firing. That's what Incarcerated Bob on Twitter said about 5 hours ago, so it was this morning. Let's play the hypothetical game, since that's what we do best. If this is true, do you think the Cardinals would actually, this fits within the Cardinals' makeup, to give him an extension, suffer through not a great April, you're off to a lousy start in May? Do you see the Cardinals front office making a decision like this?
It would lead me to question so many things. If that were the case, if you were going to fire him, what would that be, about 40 games in at that point? 45, 50 games, I'm not sure, something like that. I would question why you signed him to an extension in the first place. You didn't have to. You didn't have to guarantee him more money.
Fair point.
And now you're going to pay him to go sit at home? Like, that's what we call hustling backwards. That's not what you do. You don't pay somebody that you're going to eventually fire. Now, maybe they thought that this team would be better than they are. Mm-hmm. Maybe they felt like they had a roster that could compete and not be last in the division. But is that all on Oli Marmol? Because if you're in the front office and you're looking at these games, you got to look at yourself as well. You should be looking in the mirror and say, well, damn, he's not playing well. He's not playing well. He's not playing well. And we don't have anybody to replace them. Whose fault is that? It's not Oliver Marmol's. He's going to play the best players available. And if those are the best players, what else do you have to do? So if I'm in the front office and I'm upset with the performance of our team, the first place you should look is at yourself.
Yeah. And
figure out, well, A, why aren't these players playing well? B, why don't we have anyone that can replace them if they're not playing well? And how do we go about becoming better? Because right now, all Oliver Marmol can do is play the players that are there. Mm-hmm. There is no one to replace Paul Goldschmidt. You don't have anyone really to replace Nolan Gorman, who isn't hitting the ball well. Lars hit a home run last game, but he's still not playing well. Dylan Carlson hasn't touched a baseball, I don't think, yet since he's come back. He hadn't put one in play. So where do you go? Mm-hmm. Jordan Walker wasn't hitting the ball well. He got sent down. Victor Scott wasn't hitting the ball well. He got sent down. Where do you go? If you're going to fire the manager, you should be walking out the door with them.
Right.
Because who are you mad at? All he can do is play the guys that are there. Now, maybe you want to critique the inconsistency in the lineup. Maybe you want to critique. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you're the people that brought the players here for them to play.
Yes.
So you can't be too upset with him.
You know, guys, I think there's two separate conversations to be had here. One is, do you think they will fire him? And two, even if you do, to Carey's point, do you think it'll matter? Because if you're promoting from within, you're also promoting somebody, even if it's an interim, unlike Drew Bannister coming from Springfield, you're promoting somebody that is also part of the failures to this point. Mm-hmm. You're promoting somebody that either worked alongside Oli and agreed with his coaching, his teaching, all of that, so he's part of it, or he didn't, and he's maybe in somebody else's ear in the front office saying, hey, look, I don't like the way Oli's doing it. And then you don't have synergy, and you're promoting a leader that is maybe talking behind somebody's back. I'm not saying that's what's happening. Right. What I'm saying is, if you do this, to your point about the players, they still have to perform better, but it doesn't mean that it's suddenly something's going to get better here.
I agree.
Or that the team is going to perform better.
Right.
We did see it, though, when Mike Matheny was let go and then Mike Schilt came in. He had a 41-28 record when he took over in 2018.
And that Phillies team, before anybody texted in, the Phillies team that beat you in the wild card round a couple of years ago, went to the World Series after they had fired their manager. 22-29
at the time, and then they fired a World Series winning manager, Joe Girardi.
Right.
So my question is, I will compare it to the Blues. Like, the Blues fired Craig Berube this season. It wasn't because the players weren't playing. They weren't playing well, right? But it wasn't a physical thing. Like, it wasn't. I can't even compare it. Paul Goldschmidt is not hitting the ball. That's a physical thing. It's not. For me, the Blues fired Craig Berube because the team was not showing effort and energy and playing hard every night. I think the Cardinals are playing as hard as they can, but they just ain't got it right now. So if you fire the manager and you bring in, you elevate Daniel Descalso, whoever it is, whomever it is, does that make Paul Goldschmidt a better player at this point? No, it's not that he's not working hard. It's that he's not hitting the ball. He's not having success. Does that make Nolan Gorman better? No, he's not hitting, because that person is already there.
Yeah.
He's already there, I'm sure, working with them, giving them ideas, tips, help, whatever you need to do. The player isn't performing. I think those are two totally. I could understand why the need to fire Craig Berube was this season. Not that it was his fault at all. The players weren't giving effort, energy, and doing what they needed to do to win games every single night. This baseball team isn't good because the players aren't performing well enough. And that's essentially the bottom line. As a player, it is your job to perform or you will be replaced. Mm-hmm. Every professional athlete knows that you will be replaced quickly. If they can find someone to replace you. It's hard to replace $25, $30 million. That's one of the benefits of having those contracts. But if you're a $2 million guy, they can replace you.
Yep.
And so you have to perform better in order to not be replaced. And right now they're not playing well enough.
I think two things can be said. I think we can all agree that the players are not playing well, but at what point does an organization have to come out and say this is not good enough? And unfortunately, usually the first person that goes is the manager. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to ride out this contract? For 2 years, two more years after
why
this?
Why sign him to the contract?
Well, that's a different question.
Because if you are,
I'm with you on that.
If you are the DeWitts, then you should be questioning everything below you. Mm-hmm. Like, why did we even sign this contract? If you're telling me I got to pay somebody 2 more years and he's not even going to be here, why the hell did you make that decision? So not only should he go, then the person that decided that we need to sign this contract should go with him.
Well, maybe
if you're the owner of the team. Because that's poor management. That's mismanagement of funds.
I agree.
You're mismanaging my money by saying we're going to pay him, and he's not even going to be here. Mm-hmm. That's egregious on your behalf. So now I'm looking at you, because also the team that he's given comes from you as well. So how can we place all of the blame solely on Oliver Marmol and not look up?
No, you're absolutely right. Do you need to still make the move anyways?
Yes.
Even if that's the case, because you're right, Carey. That's why I said there's two different conversations. You're right, but does a message still need to be sent at some point to say we need to move forward here? because the results aren't there and we can't fire every single player.
Why not? Well, not every single player, no. But you can fire a couple of people above the players if that's what you feel is what you need to do.
All right. We want your mic drops on this. What do you think would have to happen for the Cardinals actually to replace their manager mid-season? Are you buying the rumors from incarcerated Bob here, or are you more of the mindset of it's not going to make a difference anyways, and the Cardinals are unlikely to do so after giving him a contract extension? Where are you on this? Leave us a mic drop. You can always reach us via the Air Comfort Service text line as well, 314-399-9646. Is this season a microcosm of how the Cardinals, quote-unquote, fix their roster? That's next on 101 ESPN. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, that's got to be your next new spot, whether you're looking at a new Nissan or maybe you're looking at pre-owned vehicles because you're not in the market for a new vehicle. No problem. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they have over 700 cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, anything you're looking for right there on their lot, one location out in Herculaneum. And you can take advantage of their May Day sales throughout the month of May. 0% APR and payment terms all the way up to 84 months. That's just one of the three incentives they have right now. They have up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Nissan models, as well as no down payment needed and 3 months of no payments. Those are the three incentives going on right now at Auto Centers Nissan for their May Day deal, again, throughout the month of May. As always, all new Nissans at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum come with their complimentary lifetime warranty, their complimentary 1-year maintenance, and the 30-day return promise. If you're not completely satisfied with the vehicle, bring it back within 30 days. They'll refund your money, set you up with something else. They also have financing options for everyone. Good credit, bad credit, it doesn't matter. At Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they will hook you up. Check them out at AutoCentersNissan.com. Tell them Stalter sent you. When you head down to Herculaneum, it's Auto Centers Nissan. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Is this season a microcosm of the Cardinals, of how they fix, quote-unquote, their roster? So over the offseason, the Cardinals set out, obviously, to upgrade their pitching staff. So they signed Lance Lynn, they signed Cal Gibson, they signed Sonny Gray, and they don't make really any moves when it comes to their offense. They just decide to roll with what they have. They did add Matt Carpenter, and they did add Brandon Crawford, but no wholesale changes when it comes to the offense. And now, lo and behold, the offense is still an issue. So what, Marsh was kind of talking about this in the office. Well, will they go into next offseason saying we need offense, and they try to fix the offense, and they ignore the pitching? Are they always kind of in this cycle
chasing
where they're chasing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I think this is what happens when you're trying to do, I don't want to say the right thing, but they're banking on their young guys. I don't think this is different than any other team in any other sport, by the way. At some point, you do have to say, we drafted these guys, mm-hmm. we scouted them, we drafted them, they've been in our organization, and now they need to produce. The offense wasn't good last year. It really wasn't. It wasn't as bad as what we're seeing now, but it certainly wasn't up to par last year. Mm-hmm. So they banked on guys like Jordan Walker taking the next step,
right?
Nolan Gorman taking the next step, Wilson Contreras and Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado doing their thing, Newt staying healthy, Tommy Edman getting healthy, and a lot of this just hasn't worked out. But at some point, you do need to have those players within your organization produce.
I agree. I don't know that, again, this is, we can sit here and try to decipher who's at fault. Is it the players? Is it Oli? Is it Mo? At the end of the day, I feel like the Cardinals felt that they had a roster good enough to compete.
Mm-hmm.
You felt like Jordan Walker would take a step forward. He wasn't hitting the ball well. You felt like Nolan Gorman would take a step forward. He hasn't hit the ball well. You felt like Lars Newbar, when he came back healthy, he would take a step forward. He hasn't as well. Those and Paul Goldschmidt. That's 4 players of your 9 batters that aren't hitting the ball well. Brendan Donovan has been up and down. Nolan Arenado has picked it up as of late. He's doing much better. Now your best hitter of all of them is out for probably 2 months, maybe even longer, with a broken, fractured forearm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they felt that this lineup. I think they felt like the only issue that they needed to fix was the pitching, which was atrocious last year. And they did. They did a really good job of fixing that. I think the only issue that you may look at is saying, well, maybe you should have foreshadowed Paul Goldschmidt getting a year older and maybe becoming, again, I'm not ready to write him off yet, but maybe you should have foreshadowed that, saying he's probably going into the phase of his career where he's not going to be the MVP that he was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they were unable to foreshadow that. They were unable to see that. And you were unable to see, and I don't know how you would have, that Jordan Walker would be down in Memphis. You didn't think that would be the case. Same thing with the other guys. It's a performance issue that they're having. They're not performing well enough, and now everybody is culpable because of it. Your manager is people are looking at him crazy. Well, what are you doing? Well, we're working our butt off. It's just not happening. The Pobo, what did you do? I thought I had guys here that were going to compete, but they're not. So I don't know if they have to go back and chase again. Guys just got to play better. At the end of the day, and I know people get tired of hearing me say that, because it's well, no, coaches are supposed to, you got to do this, and the coach has to. They're doing all of that. Mm-hmm. They're not going to stand up on a stand 162 times a year and give me one for the Gipper every single. No, that's not professional sports. Professional sports is we do the work behind the scenes, at practice, in film, everything we need to do. Your preparation is there. All of the analytics, you know exactly where to line up. You know exactly what this pitcher throws. You know exactly where your good spots are and your bad spots are. You know exactly how that person wants to get you out. Now go do it. Mm-hmm. That's professional sports. It's your job as a pro to be a pro and be good at your job, or don't have one.
Yep.
There are hundreds of people every single year, every single day, knocking at the door to take your job. And if you're not performing, one of those younger players who is hitting the ball, who is having success, will take your spot. And as the ownership, as ownership, as Pobo, as manager, you have to be willing to say, hey, you're not performing well. We gotta go. We're going to start looking in a different direction. Now, are they willing to do that? That becomes the question.
Here's an interesting thought that I just had. We're talking about, moving on from Oli Marmol. People want Mo gone. People want Turner Ward gone. Could we see Goldschmidt just being benched for like a week? Could that be something that shows up instead of somebody else leaving from the coaching staff or the front office?
No, I don't think so. Because I think that would, one, okay, so let's walk down that line, right? Mm-hmm. Walk down that path. What are you hoping? What are you hoping for?
Like a reset or someone.
So like Alec Burleson comes in.
I don't think it needs to be an entire week. I would have given him a day or two off already, though. Hey, no offense. I'll give you a day. Yeah. Reset. You had the 4-hit game against, was it the White Sox, and then you've been over since then. Probably would have sat him. I would have sat him yesterday if they'd have played. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if he was in the lineup or not. I don't think he was.
I don't know. He wasn't.
I think they would have sat him yesterday.
Was rough looking.
Yeah. So maybe those were the plans, and now, had the day off, the entire team did. Let him play now. Mm-hmm. But he has to be better, and he knows that. Like, it's not a secret to him. I'm sure the people that are close to him are feeling it because he's not comfortable or excited about anything at this moment. Because when you are not playing at the level you've been capable of, nothing around you it's miserable. It is miserable. Your family is probably miserable around you because you're not you. You're not doing the things you are accustomed to doing, and that's part of that's part of being a professional athlete. But at the end of the day, he has to be better.
Yeah.
And as do some of those other guys. Or somebody's going to get fired.
The more we talk, the more it's clear that they just have problems all the way throughout the organization. Mm-hmm. Something is missing here. There's no cohesion from the minor leagues to the big leagues. And you can kind of sense that growing. You actually sensed that growing a while ago when guys used to go down to Memphis, swings would be fixed, they'd look great, they come back up, and they wouldn't perform again. So there is something missing philosophy-wise, direction-wise about this club.
It's development.
Development-wise.
In my opinion.
Sure.
When you are talented, sometimes you can just leave guys the hell alone. Like, you don't have to overcoach or overcorrect because they can figure things. But then some guys, you have to nurture that gift that they have. Some people, you get the hell out of the way. He's great. I'm not going to coach him. I'm going to let him do. If you ask me, I'll tell you. What do you see? Yeah, I think you're doing good job. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
But some guys, you have to nurture that talent and show them how to get better and how to be the best version of themselves. And I don't know if that part of the development is missing when I watch this Cardinals team, because if you think about it, if other players go elsewhere and they have the success that they didn't have here, then you question that. What did they learn there? And all coaches are not equal. Let's make sure, and I'm not saying that the Cardinals coaches are bad, but I've played with some coaches that had no freaking clue about anything. I'm like, how the hell are you in the NFL? Who do you know and what pictures do you have? Mm-hmm. Because you don't know nothing. And it's disrespectful to the game.
Yeah.
But then you go elsewhere and you learn something from a coach that gives you little nuggets that you never even. I've been playing for 5 years, never even heard that. Why is that? He knows more than those guys. Mm.
And he can communicate it better. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What's trending is next.
And the NBA playoffs have tipped off, but it's not too late to get in on the action with FanDuel because right now new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any $5 winning bet. That's $150 to use on the same game parlay, live bets, championship futures, and so much more. I'm watching these teams. I'm watching Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. I don't know if that's a championship future because maybe they got to go through Boston, but I would not doubt it. They are playing at a high level. Really good games. The Mavericks, the Nuggets, a lot of teams to choose from.
Yeah, no doubt. So the Boston Celtics tonight, again, laying double digits. You like Cleveland a couple of nights ago. They lose Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if you want to go back to that route. Oklahoma City looked great the other night, too, against Dallas. There's a lot going on here in the NBA. As Carey mentioned, you could do the same game parlays, live bets, but you do got to get signed up. Visit FanDuel.com/fast to get started. Then that $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet could be yours. All courtesy of FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older. Present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus edition is not withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Mortgage rates have finally dropped. Call today for a free mortgage checkup. Pay off those credit.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals are back in action tonight. Going up against the Milwaukee Brewers, Sonny Gray takes the mound going up against Tobias Myers. First pitch is at 6:40. Sonny Gray comes into this one with a 4-1 record, a 0.89 ERA, as Myers is 0-2 with a 6.23 ERA. Once again, first pitch tonight at 6:40 in Milwaukee. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, second round of the NBA and NHL playoffs are going on right now. And last night we saw some interesting games. The Panthers responded against the Boston Bruins, a 6-1 victory for Florida. The Canucks, game one against the Edmonton Oilers, they end up coming back, winning 5-4 on home ice. And the Knicks extend their series lead to 2 games to none against the Indiana Pacers, 130-121. Not just these games, but all of the second round games in the NHL and NBA. What is standing out so far from an entertainment standpoint?
I think the NHL, you don't know if any lead is going to be safe at this point. Mm-hmm. Florida drubbed Boston, but other than that, we've seen 3-goal leads, 4-goal leads erased. 3-1 last night. What was it, 3-0? And then 3-1? Or maybe it was 2-0, then 2-1, then 3-1. Either way, Vancouver, they do not have the offense that Edmonton and Colorado have, yet they showcased it last night. Mm-hmm. If you're one of these, I mean, no lead is safe at this point in the NHL. So these comebacks have been dramatic. Last night, I think in the NBA, Indiana looked bad. Well, complaining about the referees.
They did a lot of complaining.
I mean, that's
so
they're complaining big time.
To your point, the Pacers submitted 78 calls that they feel were incorrectly called against them for games 1 and 2 against the Knicks.
Like, you're being a baby.
Yeah, stop it. Like, man, you're going to have bad calls. They're going to go both ways. And if the call is correct, like they got upset about a double dribble call that was not actually a double dribble against the Knicks. They blew the whistle, said, oh, nope, we made a mistake. Knicks ball, keep the ball. And the Pacers were upset. Like, he didn't. It was an inadvertent whistle. He made a mistake. The referee did. He acknowledged that he made a mistake. And so now you're mad. And Rick Carlisle eventually got tossed from that game. The thing that I'm noticing from the NBA playoffs is the rise of young superstars. Mm-hmm. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a superstar. He was second in MVP voting, and their team has been running through the playoffs, and they are a really good basketball team. Anthony Edwards is a superstar. His team is the same thing. They are running through the playoffs, up 2-0 versus the defending champion Denver Nuggets. And then Jalen Brunson, I don't know where the hell these performances came from. Didn't see this type of ability. Didn't think he had this when he was with the Dallas Mavericks, but he has been playing lights out. Had 4 games of 40 in a row. Had 29 last night and missed the entire second quarter with, I thought he got hit in the groin. Guess it was a foot injury. I don't know what it was. They one thing, another thing. But either way, missed the entire second quarter. Knicks got down in that game, and he came back after halftime and was, again, just playing lights out. So I think what you're seeing is you're starting to see that shift from the old regime of Curry, LeBron, KD, and starting to see these younger guys that are going to be superstars. And the person that we haven't talked about is Jason Tatum, who just quietly in Boston, they are just cutting down people game after game. And so this might be his best chance to win a championship, depending on how all of this shakes out.
Do you think the NBA, and to your point, we see a lot of young players that are rising to become superstars, and we're used to seeing these big blockbuster trades. You talk about SGA.
Yeah.
He was a part of that Paul George trade, along with 8 other pieces to that trade, and the Clippers have nothing to show for it. Do you think teams will stop doing that?
The super team?
The super team and getting rid of so many draft picks and different players because at this point you don't know who that next star could be?
I think that people thought that because LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh got together, that was the way. And it worked with older veterans like Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and Ray Allen. That worked, right? They got championships out of those, but that's not the case for every single team. You can't just put 3 superstar players together. You saw it in Brooklyn with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. They didn't even play enough games together. Like, you can't just put 3 superstar players and think that it's going to work and then mortgage your entire future for said superstar, hoping that you become a champion. It worked for those specific teams. One, because LeBron is one of the best players to ever play the game, so you could put him out there with pretty much anybody, especially at that point in his career. He was going to probably be in a championship. But everyone else is not that caliber and that level. So trying to make it work is not always the best solution for your team.
Yeah.
Guys, came out that Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft had some awkward tension at the roast of Tom Brady, understandably so. I got a question for you. I know, Anthony, you've watched a little bit of it. Did you get to watch any?
I did. I watched all of it.
You did? Okay, perfect. And we know Jamie's been a part of a roast before, but if you had to pick a group of, let's say, 5 people to be at your roast, who would it be?
Man.
And who is one of them that would make it awkward?
In my life, like regular people or famous
I guess
people?
it could be anybody. It could be, famous people.
Can I say I would never do a roast? I don't
Jamie
think
would have to be at your roast.
Yeah. I don't think I have the temperament to sit there, and I would laugh, but I'd be seething too. Ranthony would be he'd be boiling beneath the surface. But yeah, I think I would probably choose you guys because I think you guys would be fun but fair and know what topics might be
Fair,
off.
but firm.
Yeah, but what topics would be off, off limits.
I don't know that
limits.
there are any topics that's off limit. Therein lies the problem.
Certainly, if you open yourself up like Brady did.
Yeah.
So
there wasn't anything off.
Comedians and stuff. That's what they do.
It's funny.
It's a roast.
Funny you say that because apparently the Robert Kraft joke that was told by Jeff Ross.
Yeah.
That specific topic was off limits. And they were not supposed to touch
That's
that.
why Brady went up there and said,
yeah. And that was, I think that was pretty genuine.
Oh, I think so too.
Because
that's the only time Brady went up there.
Andrew Scholes, who was a part of that, also went on a podcast and was talking about that specific situation. He said that was Robert Kraft was off limits to make jokes like that. So that was genuine, and that was right. I mean, that was pretty early in the roast too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because he was the first. I think that roast was really funny. It was well done. I just wouldn't put myself through it. I wouldn't put my kids through it. I wouldn't put my wife, Kristen, through it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it was tough.
I'm surprised he did it. Because the benefit outside of a paycheck, I don't know if there's much of a benefit there.
I mean, but I appreciated it because he did. I mean, I thought he was funny when he got his opportunity to say what he wanted to say, to go back at people and kind of dig at people a little bit. I just thought I always find those interesting because it's cringeworthy, some of the things that are said, and you're like, oh my God, what? Whew, that's a bit much.
Wait, the Aaron Hernandez stuff.
It was all night long. That was tough.
Well, the flip side to being at a roast is that, especially if you're in it, Tom Brady's not the only guy getting roasted. Everybody else, if you're a part of it, if you're a roaster, you're also getting roasted.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the roast of Jamie was fun. I was in it. I participated in it, and you open yourself up. I mean, our dear friend Jeff Burton, the late great Jeff Burton, was incredibly funny. But you're right, he went through all of us too. I think it was Greg Warren. I think it was Greg Warren, me. Martin Kilcoyne hosted, and Jeff went through everybody. Tony Twist at one point got up there, and he was taking shots at all of us too. So you're right. You know what you're signing up for,
right?
You know that they're up there to get a laugh, maybe some shock value out of it, and take their digs. And at the end of it, you're just going to be like, okay, that was fun, and move forward. But there was a lot there that I was surprised Brady was up for. I thought he was awkward too at the end.
Well, he's
just kind of awkward.
He's
overall.
just kind of like a dork.
Yeah,
like a very athletic dork.
I'm also not surprised that Bill Belichick is receiving a lot of praise. That was certainly had to be out of his comfort zone. I thought he was good. I thought he was really funny. I love the jab about not so easy to run a team, huh, Tom? I thought that was funny. I thought Kevin Hart was incredible.
Yeah,
he was great, just keeping it moving. I thought he was great, too, because he was genuine a couple of times, and then he'd go right back and say, blank you, Tom, which I laughed. Every time he did that, I laughed. But, yeah, it was...
and then Tom got him back.
And then Tom got him back.
Kevin.
Sure.
That's the thing about a roast, though. Most of the stuff they're talking about is, like, things that everyone knows about.
Right.
So, like, at what point can you get too mad because they are things that have happened? Everyone knows about it. You're just joking about it.
Yeah. I actually felt, what's the guy's name with the weird haircut?
Andrew Schultz.
Schultz.
Yeah, Schultz or Schultz?
I think it's Schultz.
Schultz.
I thought it was Schultz.
Something like that. Yeah.
By the time he was up there, I actually thought to myself, and it wasn't his fault, but a couple of those, like, you're starting to run out of things to dig him about in a creative way. I still think he was funny, but the further you get into the night, you're like, all right, I kind of heard this one. The only two that I thought were, like, brutal, Ben Affleck was brutal.
Yeah.
Like, that was weird.
I didn't even. So when you all told me that it was bad, I just fast forwarded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
That was weird.
I didn't watch it. You all told me yesterday it was terrible, so I just.
He did like this.
I skipped right through it.
He was kind of defending his boy Tom, and then a couple of he it's almost like he had the sense of, oh yeah, this is a roast. I should probably throw in some digs at Brady, but they weren't that funny. And then he just turned around and walked off too, which I thought was like, all right. He seemed a little above it. And the other guy I thought was terrible was Dana White.
Oh, yeah.
Which he's not a comedian, I get. But look, neither is Gronk, neither is Belichick. Like, if Belichick can do it and do it well, come on. You got 60 seconds or whatever it was. I thought Dana White, like, that was a couple of times I'm like, all right, we're trying to do the tough guy thing. Otherwise, the roast I thought was incredible. All right, this Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Do the Cardinals have a true direction? I think if out of all of the issues and the complaints and the frustration that we have for this club, that one might be my biggest, the direction or lack thereof. We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
I think I'm with Anthony that the Cardinals are the least risk-avert team in all of major sports. And because of that reason, they're not going to fire Oli this year. They just signed him to an extension. They don't want to make themselves look stupid again by firing him within 2 months. And with the injury to Contreras, they're just chalking the season up as a wash. This season's done. They're just going to ride the ship out till it sinks, and then during the offseason, they might reevaluate. But this year, Oli's here to stay.
All right, that was Dylan. Obviously, I agree with Dylan because he echoed my points about the Cardinals being risk-averse. They are. They're completely risk-averse. And we could say it here locally, but when you hear it nationally, it takes on a different tone, too. But before you hear the national audio clip, we have your chance right now, CD, to win a pair of tickets to UFC Fight Night this Saturday at Enterprise Center. Don't miss a thrilling heavyweight showdown in the main event as fan favorite knockout king Derek Lewis takes on heavyweight contender Rodrigo Nascimento. Text in now, 314-399-9646 to score the free tickets to UFC Fight Night. And you can get all the details now at 101ESPN.com. Here's your trivia question. And if you're just listening, you have an opportunity to get this question right and go to the UFC Fight Night this Saturday. We just got done talking about Tom Brady and the roast. Mm-hmm. I said I thought everybody did great. There's two people I highlighted that I didn't think were funny and a little awkward. One was Ben Affleck. Who was the other? I said two people I thought were like terrible. Ben Affleck, and who was the other? If you have the correct answer, text into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646 to score those free tickets to UFC Fight Night.
Well, you were asking about, excuse me, what direction are the Cardinals going? And we got a text from the 314. It says, the Cardinals' direction seems to be last place. They are doing it with great conviction.
Boy, that's tough to argue. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, you're right. Here is the guys on the podcast. It's called Baseball Today is the name of the podcast. It's Chris Rose and Trevor Plouffe. They were talking about the Cardinals. They were talking about kind of the viewpoint of the lack of direction. Here's what they had to say.
I've wanted to do a topic on the Cardinals for weeks. There's something wrong with this team. And Paul Goldschmidt has never looked worse. I cannot believe we're seeing some of the swings we are, particularly on balls that are so far out of the strike zone.
I want to believe in the Cardinals. I believed in them last year. It didn't happen. I believe in them this year. I think I picked them to win the NL Central. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, especially when you lose Contreras for 6 to 8 weeks. You're going to they already have dug themselves a hole. I do believe that they are facing now, like they're going to be in decision time soon.
Man, it just feels like for so long, we always talk about the Cardinal way. And I think part of the Cardinal way was being consistent with their decisions and being firm and having a direction. And it feels like they're literally all over the place.
They're in an interesting spot here. It doesn't seem like they're all in, and it doesn't seem like they're ready to have some sort of retool or rebuild either. So they're caught in the middle, and that's just not where you want to be as a franchise.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Now, the question is why? It's clear that they don't have a direction, but the question is why. I have my thoughts on it, CD, and if you're a regular listener, you'll actually know some of my viewpoints, so I'll shut up for now. Carey, why do you think the Cardinals lack direction, if you were to choose one or two things?
Well, we talked about it earlier, development, maybe lack of innovation, maybe a lack of, outside ideas and sticking with, one way for such a long time. And I thought about this as we were talking about it. If I'm the DeWitts and you have another dead last finish in the division when people were expecting you, I think they had them. When we did the predictions at the beginning of the season, it was 86 wins. Was that the
like 84 and a half or 85 and a half?
Somewhere around 85, 86. And you finish, if you go and lose, let's say you only lose 85 games, in comparison to 91 last year, there has to be some movement for your baseball team. You have to decide at that point, in my opinion, 2 seasons back to back where you didn't perform, you didn't meet the standards of the St. Louis Cardinals organization. It's time to go in a different direction. And again, you have signed contract extensions for a couple of guys that you're going to be paying to be sitting at home or be paying to have them coach elsewhere and still be getting paid. But at the end of the day, unless you think that this is acceptable, you would go in a different direction. But I probably wouldn't make that decision until the end of the year, because if I'm the DeWitts, if I'm John Mozeliak, I probably still feel at some point we're playing as bad as we're playing. At some point, these guys will heat up and have more success at the plate. They're just not having it right now. Now, if it continues all season long, or even if they start hitting and other parts of our team start lacking and not performing well, then it's time to go in a different direction. But that probably wouldn't be until the end of the season.
Going back to our first topic that we talked about with the rumor about Oli and whatever, but I go back to why they even gave him the contract. I'm not a huge fan of the whole lame duck manager or lame duck head coach conversation. Yeah. I think that's BS. You're coming off a terrible year. This, to me, that's a prove it year. This is a prove it year, and then you can get your contract extension. Like, we're just handing out things to make someone feel comfortable. I don't like that. I want to see someone prove themselves. And this whole direction thing, by doing so, you are essentially telling fans, okay, our direction is with these group of people for the next 2 seasons. And I have no problem with fans feeling a certain way, because they are essentially telling you what direction they're going in, and it's not a good one.
So here's my take on this. And again, if you listened to the show previously, you've heard my take on this. I'm not gonna waver, especially when it comes to what I think the lack of direction, where it stems from. The Tampa Bay Rays, Milwaukee Brewers, other teams that can't spend big because of their market, they know who they are because of what their limitations are. They know they won't spend big, can't spend big. It's not only not profitable for them to spend big, they just can't do it and still operate. We saw the Brewers shell out a massive contract for Christian Yelich and then have to make subsequent moves in subsequent years because they're paying one guy. It also benefits them because they know who they are. They know they have to scout impeccably well. And not just upcoming drafts and international drafts, but also other teams. They have got to find their edge that way. So even when they give up, they trade Josh Hader and they trade Corbin Burns and they let Craig Counsell out of his deal to join a division rival, they're still falling back on knowing who they are. We're going to scout. We're going to pick up some guys like Rhys Hoskins, fill in our roster that way. This is how we operate. Here's our blueprint. Rays, same way. If you're the Dodgers and you can swim in that pool, fantastic. Cardinals can't. But the Cardinals are not the Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox, whoever, big market team. They also can't get away from spending nothing. So they go for like the mid-tier section. If a Goldschmidt comes about, they'll make that move. If it makes sense, Arenado comes. Okay, they deserve credit for that. But what are they falling back on now that it's not working? It used to be pitching, strong pitching, defense. We're going to draft pitching. We'll figure out offense. The moment that this organization lost direction, in my opinion, and this is hindsight, okay? I'm stating it as hindsight. The moment they went sideways is the moment they were trying to find the complement to Paul Goldschmidt. They made that deal. They knew they needed more offense. They wanted Stanton. Stanton told them to go chase themselves. Not the only team, by the way, the Giants too. Go chase yourself. I'm joining one of the top 4. They lose him. The Marlins tell the Cardinals to get bent. They're not trading Yelich, only to turn around and trade him anyways. They wind up with Ozuna. And what they gave up in the Ozuna deal was the thing, in my opinion, that set forth what we see right now. They knew pitching. And now they're trying to scramble to pick those, to put those pieces back together, and they just keep missing the mark. So that's my opinion. They don't have anything to fall back on. What do they do well right now from a front office standpoint? What can you say? Because it used to be, you know what? They can't really develop the position players. Last one was Albert, but man, they got pitching. It's not that way anymore. So that's that is my thoughts on that.
Maybe they draft well.
What's that?
Maybe they draft well.
Do they?
Yeah.
Are you saying that facetiously?
No, I'm serious. They draft well. They get guys.
I think they do draft well. I think the conversation is can they develop these players into being big league players?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
They draft
I got
well,
you.
and then maybe some of those guys go elsewhere.
I got you. I read you. You're separating the drafting and the development.
Correct.
I got you. Yeah,
like they can scout and see this guy has all of the tools to be what you need him to be. Mm-hmm. But when they get there, if they're not prepackaged, ready-made, and ready to pop out of the wrapper and go play, then maybe that's the problem.
Certainly.
I just had a thought. I wonder if they are still in the model of bringing in and having like a big three. So, like, let's take Albert out of the equation. When he left, you had to essentially bring in guys that could get the job done, but weren't Albert Pujols. So, obviously, you already had Matt Holliday. You brought in Lance Berkman before Albert ended up leaving after 2011. But Lance Berkman, when he was on the team in 2011, he was already 35 years old. Right? And then you bring in Carlos Beltran, also older player.
2-year deal. Right.
Exactly. The thing with those guys had playoff experience. Those guys were wily veterans. Like, they knew what they needed to do day in and day out. Not that Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado don't, but they haven't had the postseason success. And that's what we've seen here in St. Louis. They're not winners. And not that Carlos Beltran or Lance Berkman were, but those guys, Lance Berkman was obviously in 2011, but he'd been to a World Series. He knew what it took to get to a World Series. Carlos Beltran with the Mets, like, they went deep with the Mets, and he was on the Houston team as well. So those guys knew what they needed to do in the playoffs. I just don't get that feeling from these other guys because they were part of losing organizations. And I wonder if the Cardinals continue to bring in older guys like that to, because they're 10 years in the past, because that's what worked in the past.
Yeah, they're constantly missing the mark with certain ideas. All right, that's Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Anthony Stalter's Fast Line on 101 ESPN. What do well-run organizations do in the time of crisis? I don't know if the Cardinals are necessarily in crisis, but things aren't certainly good. So what can we do to either look back in this organization or outside of this organization to say, these organizations, this is what they do. This is good organizations, what they do when their chips are down. That's next on 101 ESPN.
calling for the drop shot. The comment I wanted to make is Jan Zalak is the one who has to go. He's controlling the whole team. Something's wrong. He can't interpret to the players. He's the one who got Oli Marmol. He's the one who tells where everybody goes and what everybody does. So he needs to go. Thank you.
All right, that was from the 618, left us a mic drop. Thank you for your mic drop. As they were talking, I kept thinking of the Mo. He's got to go.
Mo's got to go.
What do well-run organizations do in a time of crisis? Crisis is kind of it's a bit of a tough word. Cardinals aren't in crisis. Maybe to some fans they are. But what do organizations do to kind of pull them out of funks? Good organizations.
They draft well, they scout well, they develop well, and they win games. Like, at the end of the day, if you have a crisis, I think the LA Dodgers had a crisis on their hands a month and a half ago. That was a crisis. That was the most talked about scenario that you could think about in sports at that time. Have you heard anything else about it?
Not outside of
you know why? Because Shohei is like 9 for 11 in his last 11 at-bats with like 4 home runs, 3 doubles, and 4 RBIs, something like that. He is nobody. That's what good organizations do. They hire good players. They play those players have success. And winning is like a magic sauce. It's a sprinkle. You sprinkle it on, you sprinkle a little winning here, a little winning there. Nobody remembers anything. It's like the whatchamacallit. What do we call that?
Oh, the neuralizer.
Yeah. You flash it in their eyes, win.
You should be flashing me.
Yeah. And everybody forgets everything because you're winning.
Yeah.
So that's what good organizations do. They win games. They don't worry about the outside noise, no matter how they have to come together, whether that's being a villain, like, oh, they hate us, let's lean into it, or everybody loves us, we're gonna have a show when we go on the road. Like, good organizations find ways to win games despite all of the outside noise. And when you're a bad organization or a bad team, you're gonna find ways to lose games. And that's where the Cardinals are right now. They're a bad team.
How do you win those games, though? I know you said like drafting, developing, all that, but like that sounds to me like a more than 1 year fix.
Yeah.
Right. How do you fix it right now? Like we mentioned it earlier, like the Phillies, they fired their manager a few years ago, and they brought in a guy incomparable that didn't have the resume as a Joe Girardi. However, it worked.
Right.
See,
so is that just what it is? You fire the coach, or like how do you go about that?
I wish we could go down the list of how many teams have fired their coach mid-season and didn't do anything afterwards, because we always want to bring up the few teams, the 2 or 3 teams that made it to a championship or maybe won a championship. But there are hundreds more of examples of teams. Hell, you got one here in St. Louis. The coach got fired halfway through the season. Did the Blues make a playoff run? Anthony predicted that they would. He said they would, but they didn't.
He even said they'd win the Stanley Cup.
Would win the Stanley Cup, but they didn't even make the playoffs. They lost to his Sharks 4 times. Same team. I mean, so we often talk about, we want to go.
What the hell, man?
They're your Sharks. I'm sorry. I was told that.
Yeah, you were told
I was told that you were a Sharks fan, and you've proven it. It happened. They won on your birthday. They beat the Blues down on your birthday. I assume that they attributed that to you. That was for you, because they know you're a fan here on your own in St. Louis. You're like the only San Jose Shark fan in St. Louis doing radio. You got to be one of one. Right?
I did see a
I
fan.
got enough knives in my back, CD. I can't believe
All right,
the one I pulled out had your signature on the handle.
My initials.
Come on, man.
I don't think he's the only one. I did run into a fan at the Cardinals game that had a Sharks hat on.
Okay.
So
Just stop it.
It wasn't
all of
Anthony?
you.
it was not Anthony. I
Okay.
thought it was at first glance, but it wasn't him.
Okay, so one of 2.
Yeah. The other thing that I think really good organizations do, and not just organizations but companies, they really do know, like, they have core values. They stand on those core values, right? Because when things start to go sideways, they can at least go back and say, these are the tenets that we do well. Within that, though, I think having and this goes for all human beings too, not just companies.
Yeah.
But having self-awareness.
Correct.
To say, you know what I'm doing is not working. What I'm doing is not good enough. What we're doing as a company, as an organization, not good enough. So how do we change our approach, make the necessary changes while still falling, we don't fall short of those tenets, whatever they are, 4 or 6 tenets. We're still going to do those well. But what do we need to change? Because what we're doing is not working, and we've shown enough patience. We need to change.
That starts at the top.
It does.
That self-awareness starts at the very top,
right,
with ownership. We've been at this for a while. This is St. Louis. This is not Milwaukee. This is not Tampa Bay. This is an organization that has a history of winning championships, playing in the big games. And we haven't done that enough here. Mm-hmm. And so what do we need to do unless that's not your goal?
Right.
Unless your goal is to make as much money as you can, however you can, and don't give a damn about the product that you're putting out there. But at some point, that money is going to slow down. Because fans are going to say, you know what, the hell with this.
Yeah, right.
This is not what we are. This is not what we do.
That goes back to your point about winning. That's all fans care about.
That's it.
You can win in a multitude of ways. As long as you're winning, that's what fans care about.
That is the only thing that they care
We can talk about the ways to do it, the correct ways to do it, the ways that will provide long-standing, sustained success. But if you're not winning, none of that matters
at all.
And you're right. Do they actually want to put the best team that they possibly can within their own budget and all that stuff? Do they actually want to do that and put the best products on the field? Or do they want to say, well, this team is good enough, people will show up, we'll make our money, and we'll do it all again next year? Because that's what it feels like after what we've seen the last last year and a half plus, and based on what they do in the offseason. And the only way to prove that theory wrong is to win, and then shove it up my rear end by saying, hey, we were right all along in what we were doing.
Right.
But this does not look good enough.
Not at all.
All right, it's Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Lineups out. We'll play the lineup game next. sound means it's time to play the lineup game here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Cardinals and Brewers open up a 4-game set tonight in Milwaukee. It'll be Tobias Myers, who's a right-hander for Milwaukee, against Sonny Gray, of course, the right-hander for the Cardinals. All right, CD. We saw a lineup yesterday that was kind of funky, but they didn't play. So they've had a couple of days off now. Actually, sorry, just the 1 day off. And then they traveled to Milwaukee. Do you think they stick with a similar lineup that they had yesterday?
Ooh. Jose Firmin was leading off yesterday.
Yep.
No.
Do you think Oli goes back to the tried and true offense that has not worked?
Yep.
All right. I'm with you on that.
Brendan Donovan. Show us Brendan Donovan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, still no Sounders. Just because they had a day off and did not lose yesterday doesn't mean that they
I'm with you, Marsh.
They get the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah,
so they play better.
I agree with you. Okay, so Brendan Donovan. No more Wilson Contreras.
Is Paul Goldschmidt?
I think Goldschmidt goes back up.
All right, I think
I just got a feeling on that.
I agree.
All right, show us Paul Goldschmidt.
All right.
Okay.
Think Lars got moved up? No,
he shouldn't. But
not going to be Herrera. Not going to be. Won't be Nolan Arenado.
I could see Newt.
Newt,
even with the back-to-back lefties.
Show us Lars Newbar. There you go.
So does he? He won't go Gorman here, will he? Just stack his lefties. Do you think it's Arenado Herrera?
You think Goldie's moved all the way down? You think he's fifth?
Okay, I see. Goldie, then Arenado. Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
Arenado, then Goldie? Who does not deserve the cleanup spot?
No. What did you say first?
Herrera.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Show us Ivan Herrera. Gorman? Is he stacking the lefties? That's what I asked. That's actually what I said.
Do you
first.
think that go ahead. I don't think it's Nolan Gorman.
Show us Nolan Gorman.
I don't think so. Who else is left? What do we have?
Arenado.
You think it's Arenado?
I don't know. I thought it was. I thought it was Goldie.
Nolan Arenado. Oh. All right.
All right. So maybe he is going back to Herrera.
Here?
Yeah, that's he was sitting clean up the other day.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with that too.
Show us Ivan Herrera.
Paul Goldschmidt.
Go ahead.
Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
Show us Alec Burleson.
Hey, good choice.
Yeah, after 12.
Yeah.
After 12. And all right, this is Goldie.
Yeah. Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
Okay, so I don't think he's in the lineup. I don't think he's in the lineup.
He might not be in. All right.
So I think Burleson's at first.
Herrera. Here?
Yeah, good call.
Show us Ivan Herrera. God. I don't like this game anymore.
Nolan Gorman.
Oh, my goodness. He had 4 lefties in the first 5 batters. Okay.
Well, at least it's against a righty.
I know. All right. What is he playing? Second base?
Yep. Okay, this is Herrera.
All right.
I don't know why. I mean, you have it. It's got to be, right?
I would assume.
Show us Ivan Herrera. You had him clean up yesterday. I know it's
Maybe
a different team, but
Goldschmidt. I don't think they gave him 2 days off.
Mason Wynn?
It's one or the other.
What do you think? Go for it. You've been better than I have.
Show us Mason Wynn.
Show us RL Chalk. So we said Herrera. We said Herrera. We said Goldie.
Wynn. Who the hell is here? Who the hell are these guys? Pajes isn't in the lineup. Did you say Herrera?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He would be. What are we missing?
Fermin.
You say that. I don't want to say that.
Show us Fermin.
I don't even know who's left.
Don't be cheating, Anthony. Don't be looking at the...
okay. Is it Dylan Carlson?
Is it Taylor Motter?
Taylor Motter.
That's what the snake pit says.
Show us Dylan Carlson. There you go.
Wow. Okay. Win.
Cody isn't in the lineup.
No. Let's go with the win here. Show us Mason Wynn. Now I think it's Herrera.
Batting 8th?
Yeah.
All right.
He's got to play.
Who's the DH?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Show us
Savon Herrera. Pahis.
Show us Pahis.
I'm gonna walk out this damn studio. I'm going home, man. Don't expect me to watch this.
Let's finish this here. So Pahis is your catcher. Wynn, shortstop. Carlson in center. Donovan left, right? Newt is in right, and Gorman's at second. So who's the DH then? Is it Herrera hitting here?
Batting 9th?
Who else would you have as your DH?
What if they put Paul Goldschmidt at 9th? That would actually make my day.
No way.
I agree.
I think it's Herrera. Show us Herrera.
Who's left?
Okay, so this could be Siani, and then one of the outfielders is the DH.
So you got, or maybe Gorman is the DH and Donovan is at second base.
You could also do,
but then you wouldn't have Siani.
But you wouldn't have. You still need an outfielder.
Well, you move Carlson over to right or left.
Show us Siani.
Would you like me to run it?
Yes, please.
Leading off, your DH, Brendan Donovan. Batting second in left field, Lars Taylor Tetsui Newbar. Batting third baseman, Arenado. Your cleanup hitter, first baseman, Alec Burleson. Batting fifth, second baseman, Nolan Gorman. Batting sixth in right field, Dylan Carlson. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Mason Wynn. Batting eighth, catching, Pedro Pahis. And batting ninth in center field, Michael Siani. What? Would you like to talk about this before we go to the home run derby?
Why is Pahis?
No, let's do the home run. Let's do the home run derby, and then I want to get into this Herrera conversation. Go ahead. What the hell is going on?
I don't believe what I just saw.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So before we do that, Pahis is a third tier because we don't have him on our list.
Yeah, of course.
All right, just want to get the clerical stuff out before we
What the hell?
Move forward. Oh my. What the hell am I missing?
What kind of lineup is that?
What are we doing?
I don't know that they like Herrera behind the plate.
He must have a back issue.
What are you talking about? Like he has to be dealing with something.
I don't know that they like him behind the plate.
You better.
That is there's something there because they did a defensive switch not too long ago to bring in Pahis over Herrera, who was in the game because they even said if a guy's going to get 90 feet, we want to I'm paraphrasing here. They don't want to give them 90 feet.
So they don't want to coach the kid at all.
No,
they don't want to coach him.
Prepackaged players.
They don't want to coach it. They don't want to get reps.
Ready to roll. Be the best version of yourself or get out of here.
How?
I don't know.
You don't want to coach this kid up? You don't want to get him reps? He has to be dealing with something.
He's
got to be dealing with something. I'm going to check Derek Gould's Twitter page right now. He's got to be dealing with something here.
I'm just going to go ahead and pick a home run derby while we're waiting. Because I'm in first place now, thanks to Brendan Donovan. I have 7. I believe, Carey, you have...
I should have
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
4 or 5. I need to bring the sheet up. I think Jamie has 4, and then Anthony, you're still looking for your first.
You didn't get one yet?
Hell no.
Oh, man.
You don't hit that many home runs.
You are not wrong.
Granted, you guys have some, so, no excuse for me.
Ran into one here or there.
Mm-hmm. Frick James goes in the snake pit. Herrera doesn't stick his glove out far enough over the plate. He refused. They benched him. I don't understand this.
Man.
Okay, who'd you pick, Marsh?
I'm going to go with Alec Burleson tonight.
Oh, great. All right. Well, I guess this is an intriguing lineup. You know what? I'll go with No, I don't want to go with. You know what? Give me Brendan Donovan. He'll run into one 3-pointer.
All right.
When you get a chance, can you give us the updated scores? I need to know where I stand.
Jamie is taking Lars Nootbaar.
Okay. You took Donovan. Who's a three-pointer? I would take Mason Wynn, but he doesn't hit home runs.
Honestly, this is hilarious. Our three-point tier has 2 players currently
Mason Wynn.
Playing all the time.
Give me Mason Wynn. I don't understand. I just don't understand. I feel like Tony La Russa right now. I don't understand. You need to get this guy up to speed. He has to be dealing with some sort of back issue that will come out. Because it's always a back for the Cardinals, let's be honest.
Which is another problem that I've mentioned, but I don't know.
You have 4 points, by the way.
I have 4?
4.
So me and Jamie are tied?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I understand that he might not, he's not what you want defensively at this point.
Yeah, so don't
he's
play him.
He's a young player. Right,
No,
so sit him on the
don't play
bench.
him. Don't play him.
Then send him down to Memphis.
No, you got 2 catchers now. You got one that's injured. So Pahis, who looks like Canelo Alvarez to me, is going to be your catcher.
How many automatic outs are in this lineup?
Oh, Marsh, I would say
I'm being serious.
right now.
I'm being
You
serious.
guys.
Newt's an automatic out right now.
He hit a home run last game.
Gorman's an automatic out.
He probably
Carlson's an automatic
He
out.
probably is.
Pahis is an automatic out. And Siani's Siani had a hit the other day, right?
That 5?
Yeah. I'll attack it this way. If I were the Milwaukee pitcher, Tobias Myers, and I want to know where my outs are, I have to avoid Arenado, Burleson, and I can't give Gorman anything to hit in his limited sweet spots. That's it. Donovan's going to drive. Donovan's going to drive me crazy, but I'll keep him in the yard. Newt, unless he starts to heat up, he's not going to kill me. I got to avoid Arenado, Burleson, Gorman. After that, Wynn has had a good year, but I just got to make sure I hold him on if he gets on. I got outs littered through this lineup.
So here's the thing, and I know we got to go to break here, but Ali said earlier in the offseason that he is responsible for the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
If Herrera is not dealing with anything and he's not playing, and you don't get production from that position and other positions and players aren't performing well, and you got guys in the lineup. Jose Fermin had a couple hits. He didn't play the next day. If you are responsible for the lineup and you are not every day putting the best players, the hottest players on the field, then that's that. Now we're looking at you as being the main. You're culpable in what's taking place.
Absolutely,
100%.
Also, what does it say about Dylan Carlson this early of him being back that he's not in center field? They've already moved him to right field.
I don't think that has anything. I don't think that's. I don't know. I don't. I think if you. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, it tells you that they trust Yanni more in center field, which I don't blame him. He has played well defensively.
He has.
So if you have those two guys in the lineup at the same time, that I think it says more about that than.
So and having Pahis in there, to me, that screams we're going with defense.
Sure.
This game. This is a defensive game, and that just shows me how much confidence they have in their offense and they're guys that should provide offense.
So why not have Goldschmidt at first then?
It's a great question.
I mean? Like if we are going to go defense, this is my point about like what is the direction?
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about from an organizational standpoint, but what is the direction?
You know what?
We're a defensive team-ish. We're trying to be an offensive team-ish. Go ahead.
I heard through the grapevine someone once say, "Where are we?"
I wish I hadn't taken a sip of my water when you said that. We'll spit it all over this monitor. Where are we?
Where are we?
Sports Six Pack is next. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. Send in your questions. Sports Six Pack next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals are back in action tonight, taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Sonny Gray takes the mound, going up against Tobias Myers. 6:40 first pitch. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we'll have Game 3 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. Pregame starts at 5:30. Coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack. If you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
With Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. No Jamie Rivers for today or tomorrow. He's going to be out of town. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions via the Air Comfort Service tax line for the Sports Six-Pack.
Question number 1.
From the 573, this show is such a joke. You guys are nothing but negative in your hateful garbage takes. Why can't you ever be positive? I think it would kill you guys.
Oh. Wow. Where are my glasses?
Yeah. There you go. You got them?
Yeah, I'll help you out.
Yeah. Now, positive with the Cardinals or just anything?
Well, let's be positive about the St. Louis Cardinals. Of course, we are 6 games back, but we got a chance here going into the division-leading team, Milwaukee, to sweep them. And now you're only how many games back, Anthony? 2. You got a 4-game series here. All things are pointing up in the right direction. Yeah, Wilson Contreras is going to be out for a while. Yeah, you got some injuries here and there. You haven't had the success you want. But Paul Goldschmidt not in the lineup tonight. Probably one of your better players, track record speaking, but not this year, not right now, but coming along. At some point, he'll be there. Hope this is enough positive information for you, because we here at St. Louis Cardinals LLC believe. We will believe. We bleed red. We bleed Cardinal red. We believe that the Cardinals will be great again this season. This season, Anthony, people talking about firing Oliver Marmol, firing John Mosey. Like, heck no. We're going to keep winning. We got to start winning first, but then we're going to keep winning, okay? You believe?
Yes.
Marshy, you believe?
No.
All right. Well, that guy doesn't know anything. Trust me and my red glasses. Mm-hmm. Positivity is all we're doing here. Yes, sir. You got a question?
No, I need them glasses.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Here you go. Yeah, we believe. All right. Fire.
I didn't know if that was a question or not, but either way, this Cardinals team, when you look at a lot of the metrics here, guys, you're talking about a Cardinals team that has a 3.69 bullpen ERA. The ability to shorten games for the Cardinals, paramount. Sonny Gray has been outstanding, an absolute gem when it came to the offseason additions. Lance Lynn, solid. Kyle Gibson has been fantastic as well. They have great pitching from their bullpen. They have really good pitching with their starters. An excellent number 1 in Sonny Gray.
How's the hitting?
Their defense, outstanding.
Cool.
The ability to shorten games and the ability to play well defensively.
That's great.
Suffocates opponents.
You're gonna have to score some runs to
Things
win
are turning
games.
around.
All right. Yeah. Headed in the right direction.
Yep.
Are they?
Yes.
I mean, you're wearing the glasses. I believe you. Why wouldn't they be? Marsh?
I'm not going to lie. I just spent about 2 minutes trying to think of something positive to say, and I was also going to put the glasses on.
Yeah.
But I literally can't find anything.
Are you sure? Do you want to try? Do you want to try?
When you put them on, it does something for you.
Let me just
It does something.
try.
Gator goes, hey, they looks awesome in those glasses. It accentuates the Italian heritage.
It does look great on you.
Well done, Gator. Gator. Nice. Here we go, Marshy.
You didn't play yesterday, which means you have to wait till August 5th to know if you would get swept by the New York Mets. 4 p.m. first pitch, August 5th.
Hey, positive.
Anthony, this is my time.
Sorry. You're right. You're right.
Let me look at this lineup real quick. Brendan Donovan, he's been all right. Alec Burleson. You know what? Every time I pick out, not every time, sometimes when I pick Alec Burleson to hit a home run, he does.
There you go.
And I picked him today, and I feel like he is going to just mash some baseballs in Milwaukee.
No doubt.
And you know what? I think this team needs this weekend. They need to go up to that hotel that's haunted and have, just a team bonding experience where they're trying to get all the ghosts and the ghouls to come out. And it just, that when you put yourself in that type of environment, you come together. And I think that's what this team's going to do. I can't remember the hotel's name, Anthony.
The Pfister.
The Pfister, the Doug Pfister Hotel.
Pfister.
Yeah. You know what?
Famous Pfister Hotel.
Give me a sweep this weekend.
There you go.
A sweep, and they're going to be a few games back.
Two games back
after this series.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. We believe here in the fast lane.
No doubt.
Positivity, Cardinals. So all we talk about.
Yep. Well, it's not all we talk about, which is why that guy or gal called us out. But now I feel better.
She is puking after he took the glasses off. It gives you a rush. When you put those glasses on, you do believe. You see cardinal red. I mean, it's in the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, I think we did good on that one. I can't imagine that person is satisfied at all because I think there's something deep within them that they're upset with.
Why would that person not believe
And that's why they project, because something is inherently there's a hole in their life they're trying to fill. And I think when they call, they listen to the show and things like that, they're looking for something that we can't provide them. More likely than not, a lot of that goes back to their childhood. So if this person's still listening, I think, taking a deep dive into why maybe you don't feel accepted or that you belong. And it causes you to project all of your feelings and insecurities at us. That's something I'd look into. Just my opinion on that.
Oh.
Holy God. Oh, what was that? I thought that person was in here shooting at me.
That's the ghosts and the ghouls from the Pfister Hotel, Anthony. They're making their way in here.
Anyways, I don't think that's satisfied, but I hope it did.
Yeah, in all seriousness, what do you want us to say? What you want us to be the sunshine, lollipops? This team is not playing good. People are watching. They are seeing it for themselves.
Early in the season,
I don't care what time it is. I don't care if they could have been 10 games over 500 if they went on like a 4-game losing streak. We'd still be like, what is going on right now? These guys aren't hitting the ball. They're not. They're not 10 games over 500.
And they put their defensive lineup out for Sonny Gray, who's gonna pitch 8 innings.
That's the only guy that I get excited about. When he pitches, I'm like, okay, this team probably will win.
There's some positivity.
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't even need the glasses.
Yeah.
Didn't even need the glasses. That's right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You did it.
Question number 2.
Oh, good.
I think everybody feels better now.
Okay, from the 618, does A.J. McCarron go back to the NFL after the UFL season?
If he gets a call, absolutely. Yeah.
I would keep going back and forth. I mean, he said before he enjoyed playing for the Battlehawks because his kids got to watch him play. Like, and there is something to that. Like, you're on an NFL roster, but you're not playing, right? You're there. Your kids get to experience it, but he wants his children. He wants to be able to say my dad is a pretty good football player.
Yeah.
And in the NFL, he's probably a backup, 3rd string quarterback, unless someone gets hurt and there's an opportunity to start. But to be able to play the game, in the spring and have your kids be there to watch and see you play, I think there's something to it. But there's also something to playing in the NFL and making that contract, that money that's associated with that, even as a 2nd or 3rd string quarterback. So if a team does pick them up, why wouldn't you? They're not coinciding. Those seasons aren't happening at the same time, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would imagine he still has, even if it's realistic that he's not going to be a full-time starter, I'm sure he still has aspirations to be a full-time starter in the NFL. So he's doing the best thing he can right now, which is playing, getting reps within a system that you see all over the NFL, whether it's in Cincinnati or parts of it maybe in LA. So I think he's doing the thing he should be doing. Keep playing. But yeah, I do. I think we'll go to the NFL.
Anthony, we got a text from the 314. LOL, you weren't loved as a kid. When I say that, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
You weren't loved as a kid. Yo, you're not mad at me. You're mad at your dad. I forgive you. I forgive you. You're not me. You're not mad at me. You're mad at your father.
I am, man. 618 says, smash those effing glasses.
Okay. We're not going to do that.
Nah, because we it's positive here, man.
Yeah.
Like when we put those on, it's real.
You know.
You feel it. You have
Right.
to be here to feel the positivity shift in you.
Definitely.
When you put them on. The sounder, the glasses.
It all goes together, coincides. Was that text from the same person?
It was from a different person.
Okay.
About that person, because we're getting a lot of people saying, the hell with that guy. We love this show.
Hey, that's all right. To each their own. It's all good. Yeah.
Question number 3.
From the 618, not because of Contreras, but are you guys tired of pitch framing? I've always felt like it made umpires look bad.
No.
No, I think there's an art to it.
I agree.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that art just cost you your starting catcher for the next 6 to 8 weeks. But I do. I think there's
how long?
6 to 8 weeks. The Cardinals say so. In
How
my
long did you say?
calculation, 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
But if you watch Yachty, like when you watched Yachty, you were just talking about this yesterday, Marsh. When you watch Yachty, there's such an art to it that
He's good. He was good at it, though.
he was subtle.
Yeah.
He's very like catch the ball and just turn. It's like a
barely.
flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
even need to move it up or down. You see a lot of catchers nowadays. They're honestly, to me, they're not good at pitch framing.
No.
Most of them. But that's because I feel like Major League Baseball is heading towards the offensive catcher rather than the defensive catcher. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Ivan Herrera's not in the lineup tonight. But I see catchers now in Major League Baseball. Their pitch frame, their pitch framing is not what it once was. That's
There's a
nice way of saying it.
It became a lost art, just like the stolen base for a lot of guys. I think the stolen base became a lost art to the point where Major League Baseball got the bigger bags, trying to, incite more base running or generate more base running. All right, Marsh, we still got 3 questions left.
We certainly do, Anthony.
Well, let's carry this puppy over, huh?
Yeah.
Warriors Sports Six-Pack questions next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, continue our Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, no Jamie Rivers for the next 2 days. Here's Andrew Marsh with question 4, please.
Question number 4.
From the 314, who do you guys like in the NBA basketball games tonight?
Oh, the old NBA basketball games, huh? Well, Celtics, I think, win by double digits.
You got tonight. Celtics and
Cleveland. And then you have the Thunder
Mavericks?
and Mavericks.
Oh, you got to take the Celtics, and you got to take the Thunder. I mean, I said it. I really like this OKC Thunder team. I really like watching SGA play, and what I like most, which is, I know it's because they're so young as a group. Collectively, I absolutely love at the end of games, there are at least 4 or 5 people with the person that's being interviewed, just being there, hanging out, supporting, having a good time. They got like a little calling card where they bark at the end. Like it's really fun to watch because, you know, as young players, it's the thing that you don't know. They don't know. Normally, as young players, you're just going through the moment. You're like, this is going to happen every year. It ain't. It's not going to happen every year. But they are truly living in the moment, enjoying it. And the Dallas Mavericks got some work to do if they think they're going to beat this OKC Thunder team. I would not be surprised, again, the Thunder versus the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. And good luck, because those are 2 really good teams that are playing at a really high level. But I just like what the Thunder are doing. They are a really good team.
Yeah, and I don't know how you pick against Boston tonight.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Especially with Cleveland losing Mitchell. So,
what's the line to that game?
13 and
13.
Did it last time. I'm not going to do it again.
The Cavaliers have failed to score 100 points in 6 of their 8 playoff games. That's not going to get it done, CD.
No.
So
not against this team.
And Boston can beat you in a variety of ways.
And again, this is probably crazy. It's probably Boston's easiest path throughout the Eastern Conference Finals, to the Eastern Conference Finals, and potentially to the championship. Like, they've had some struggles. They've had some teams that they've had to play in the last few years. They made it to the finals a couple of years ago, lost to the Warriors. But this feels like the best, easiest path that they've had so far. I mean, it's good for them. Good for Jason Tatum. I mean, you get to play a Heat team that is without Jimmy Butler. Good. You get to play a Cavs team they're not as good as you, and now Donovan Mitchell gonna miss some time. Good. And then you get to play either the Pacers or the Knicks. And the Knicks are really good, but I think they're going to be wore down by the time they get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
If they make it.
They're good. They're a really good team.
Got Josh Harden's playing every minute of the game. Every game. OG Anunoby got hurt last night. I don't know if it was a hamstring or looked like a hamstring, but I don't know how bad it is. But I still think they're going to beat the Pacers, and then you'll have the Celtics versus the Pacers, and
the Knicks.
Celtics versus the Knicks.
The Knicks are the better team overall, and the Pacers are complaining about the officiating.
Everything.
So
get the hell out of here, would you?
See ya.
Just got a text from Action Jackson Piddles Burkett. Y'all are talking NBA without me.
We are, Jackson.
You know,
Jackson. I texted Tim last week and told him to do a whole hour of NBA talk with you.
Did
Jackson.
you?
I did.
You know, Jackson's been working on a beard that looks pretty good, too.
It's outstanding.
It's coming in nicely.
Doing a great job.
A couple more months, and I think that thing's going to be on point.
Is he in there?
Yeah, he's in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's listening
Action
right now.
Jackson. I thought you were getting a text from the Cardinals asking if you up.
No. Oh, gosh.
Okay.
I
already
blocked him.
Say I got a text. You up?
No, they know not to.
I'm up.
They know not
Ready.
to text right now.
All right.
Question number 5.
This one's from the 980. You guys were talking earlier about the possibility of Oli being fired during the season. To me, that doesn't feel like a Cardinal front office move because they constantly hire managers already in the system, but it does feel like a Keim Bloom move. Do you guys think this is him advising them to do something different than the norm?
Oh, man. Since we're not privy to information, I'll say, look, I don't know, but I do agree with the first part of that. So if I'm going to make any sort of prediction on this, I would lean toward what I've always said about the Cardinals, and that they're risk averse. They don't make splashy moves. They would rather do the thing where they're patient. I mean, the freaking Mo even says it consistently. They're patient. They're not going to make any rash decisions. I'm not saying it shouldn't be done. I'm just saying, will the Cardinals? No, probably not. They're just going to stay the course here. And if they make any decisions, any moves, it'll be after the year.
I agree. Yeah.
And it goes back to what Carey said. Why did you sign him to the extension? You didn't have to.
There was no rush.
You didn't have to sign Matt Carpenter to the extension. You didn't have to sign Oli to this extension. You could have let it play out.
No rush whatsoever.
No. And I agree with you, Marsh, when you talk about like the lame duck manager, lame duck coach. Okay, well, win. Right. And then you can decide. Or don't. But I'm going to feel better about a contract extension if you win. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to feel good if it's a losing season.
And you don't have to resign.
And I don't have to resign you. Yeah. So there's two positives. Mm-hmm. Either you win and I gladly hand you an extension.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Or you lose and I move on. The only scenario in which I don't feel great is if you win and then you tell me to go chase myself because I didn't give you the contract extension at the start of the year. But wouldn't that be telling me something too? That you didn't want to earn it?
Well, no. If that's the case, you hold all of the cards if you're Oli Marmol. You hold all of the cards. You win. You don't have a contract for next year. Somebody else is going to be fired, and they're going to be suitors for you. And so now you can play poker. You got one team. Yeah, I'd love to stay here. You got another team offering you more. You know what? They're going to offer me a few more dollars. What say you? Mm-hmm. And so you're holding all the cards. You're in a better position.
Sure.
So obviously having a contract is beautiful for him. But if you're the Cardinals, you put yourself in this position, you're going to have to eat that money if you decide to go in a different direction. And that is solely on you.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Question number 6.
All right, real quick here from the 618. How much behind-the-scenes work do you guys do and put in that is not airtime?
Oh, man, we're here for like 4 hours pre-show, repping, working, post-show. No,
the answer to that is like you really do. You're working constantly, or else you feel like you're behind.
Yeah.
So we all have lives. I got little ones. Carey's got little ones. Marsh is young, so he still has a life. So
keep going, brother.
Yeah. So I think we're all different, right? But a lot of the times I'm consuming games in a much different way now. Either it's without the sound. I always go back. I always have to go back in the morning to make sure that I catch the big stuff. I start to formulate ideas. I write down notes, or I'll write down notes on my cell phone and say, hey, think about this. But ultimately, you're kind of working around the clock.
Is it hard for you? It was a point last year, and I was probably a year in doing it full time, where it became like watching sports was like, oh God, like it became a job. Like that's why I like to watch the NBA. We don't talk enough. We don't talk a lot about it, so I can actually enjoy a game without, as you said, keeping notes in my phone when certain things are happening during a baseball game or a hockey game that are topics of discussion. It does change a little bit because you're watching the games differently.
Right.
And even, I'm sure with you having the volume off at times, you do have to go back because there are certain things that you hear that kind of spark, that can spark a
interviews
conversation.
that are done and things like that.
Yeah, I think for me, obviously, I have a little bit more time than you guys to sort of consume content and whatnot. I think what's funny is I also do the same thing where I'll watch a game and I'll take notes and whatnot. And I think some of the times that I do take notes, the Cardinals end up like winning. Mm-hmm. And so I'll have certain notes that will go towards certain segments, but if they win, it's like, it's kind of an obsolete point.
Right.
For instance, the other day, I even put in the Discord, the Snake Pit Discord, sort of having a conversation with them. Mason Wynn was on first base a few games ago, and there was 2 engagements, and he didn't steal with 1 out. And I thought that was very interesting. And then they struck out, and then he ended up stealing. Mm-hmm. There's 2 outs, and the Cardinals don't end up scoring runs. But it's like little things like that, notes that I'm taking, like, why are they not doing this? Or why did they do this? And some other points is like, okay, Oli made this move, it ended up working. So, but then they lose. So it's like, it's a moot point. So I find those instances to be ironic and funny.
There was a former player one time with the Cardinals that said, you guys, he was talking to like us in the media, you guys are only looking for the negative stuff, or you're only looking for the storyline. And I thought to myself, I'm like, yeah, of course we're always looking for the storyline, but it's for what everybody else is talking about. So we're always constantly thinking, what are fans talking about with the Cardinals, or what are fans talking about the Blues? And we try to create content based on that. Sometimes we hit, sometimes we miss, but ultimately, yeah, it's one of those jobs where you're always thinking. You hear something, you try to apply it. You hear something nationally, you try to apply it locally. Yeah, it can be fun. Most days are fun. Some days are a grind when the team's losing and the fans are ticked off and the listeners are ticked off at you.
It's been a long grind.
We keep going. All right, we got the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN 406. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh here as well. Zach is our latest contestant in the Gauntlet. What's up, Zach?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
We're doing great, man. Hope the day's going well for you. First time?
Yeah, first time.
All right, well, congratulations. Welcome into the Fast Lane, man. Would you like to take on Marsh, Carey, or me today?
I think I'll take on Andrew.
Take on Andrew Marsh. Okay.
Let's do it.
Beautiful. All right. Well, tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marshy.
All right, Zach, what category are we hoping for, man?
Well, I picked Marshy, so I'm really hoping it doesn't end up being hockey, but saying that it'll probably end up hockey.
He's pretty good at hockey, that's for sure.
He is.
Yeah.
He's got kind of a wide range of knowledge.
Well, it's going to be tested here because it is random.
Random. How do you feel about random, Zach?
We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, I guess you never know, right? You could get some things that are in your wheelhouse, and then other times you have no idea. We'll find out what we have here.
Oh, yeah.
Carrie's already laughing, so it's probably not good. Probably not good. All right, so Zach, you're going to get 4 questions. All of the questions are worth 2 points unless you ask for the options, and then those questions are worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, question number 1. The New York Public Library's twin lion statues have been in place for over 110 years. What are their names?
I'm definitely going to need the options for that.
I don't blame you on that. Here are your options. Liberty and majesty, patience and fortitude, or strength and nobility.
Go strength and nobility.
Final answer?
Finally.
Question number 2. Which golf legend staged a mock sword dance celebration after converting birdie putts?
Give me the option.
Is it Chichi Rodriguez, Lee Trevino, or Inigo Olathibal?
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Let's go Chiche, final answer.
You said Chichi?
Yeah, final answer.
All right, question 3. Due to the surplus of valuable minerals, gems, and precious metals, Montana's state nickname is...
Options?
Yeah, these are tough. Your options are, Zach, the Silver State, Land of Enchantment, or the Treasure State.
Let's go the Treasure State, final answer.
Okay.
Question number 4. Caitlin Clark's WNBA regular season debut is set for next Tuesday. In April, Clark was selected with the league's number 1 pick by the who?
Indiana Fever, final answer.
All right. We'll get Marsh back in from the cone of silence. Outside of that last one, Zach, how you feeling?
Not great.
Okay. All right, Marsh is making his way back in here from the cone of silence. Marsh, how was the cone of silence?
It was great.
Chat with our guy Mike Ryder.
I did. We were talking some Star Wars. I went and saw the Phantom Menace episode 1 last night in theaters.
Nice.
So,
okay, how was it?
It was great. Obviously, there's a lot of people that don't like that movie, but it was pretty cool for me to see it in theaters. Just because I was so young at the time when it came out that I don't really remember seeing it in theaters. So to see it on the big screen, it was pretty cool, especially the pod racing scene. That was awesome.
Fernando Tatis showed up, huh?
Nah, I don't think.
What?
Manny Machado?
The Padre scene.
Pod racing.
Oh, pod racing.
Yeah,
I thought you said the Padres scene. No. Wasn't aware of the Padres being in that movie.
That was cool. Hearing Duel of the Fates with Darth Maul. That was pretty sweet.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah.
All right, Marsh.
Is it random?
It's random today, baby.
I'm in the mood for random, even though I'm not good at it.
Carey?
Pack a lunch, buddy.
Oh, boy.
Question 1. The New York Public Library's twin lion statues have been in place for over 110 years. What are their names?
No idea. Options.
No, an idea? No. Liberty and majesty, patience and fortitude, or strength and nobility?
So I'm going to assume that Grant wrote these, and Grant has a little snark to him. And one of those words definitely sticks out to me, and that is the word patience. So I'm going to go with patience and whatever the other name is.
Patience and fortitude.
Let's go with that.
All right.
Final answer.
Question number 2. Which golf legend staged a mock sword dance celebration after converting birdie putts?
A what?
A mock sword dance celebration after converting birdie putts.
Oh, it's a golfer. If it was a baseball player, it would be Trevor Bauer because he does the sword thing. I have no idea. Options.
Is it Chichi Rodriguez, Lee Trevino, or Inigo Olatabal? I don't know.
Let's go with Chichi Rodrigo. Is that what you
Rodriguez?
said? Rodriguez?
Yeah.
We'll go with him.
All right.
Final answer.
All right, Marsh, question 3. Due to its surplus of valuable minerals, gems, and precious metals, Montana's state nickname is?
The mineral state.
Final answer?
No. Can you read the question again?
Due to its surplus of valuable minerals, gems, and precious metals, Montana's state nickname is?
Let's use the options.
The Silver State, the Land of Enchantment, or the Treasure State?
Treasure. See, I think of gold when I think of treasure. I'll go with the Land of Enchantment. Final answer. Yeah.
Question number 4. Caitlin Clark's WNBA regular season debut is set for next Tuesday. In April, Clark was selected with the league's number 1 pick by who?
The Indiana Fever. Final answer.
All right, let's go over these today. Random. Zach versus Marsh. Start off with that last question. Caitlin Clark's WNBA regular season debut is set for next Tuesday. In April, Clark was selected with the league's number 1 pick by the... Zach, you said the Indiana Fever. Marsh, you said the Indiana Fever. Correct answer is...
The Indiana Fever.
Nice job, guys. Neither of you needed the options, so you guys got a 2-2 tie heading into this question.
Good job, Zach.
Which golf legend staged a mock sword dance celebration after converting birdie putts? Marsh, you went with Chichi Rodriguez. Zach, you also went Chichi Rodriguez. Correct answer is...
Chichi Rodriguez.
Yeah, do you remember that? Remember he did that? No?
I don't even know who that is.
Okay. Both of you needed the options. We got a 3-3 tie. The New York Public Library's twin lion statues have been in place for over 110 years. What are their names? Marsh, you listened to the options, and you said, if Grant wrote these questions, he's got some snark to him. One of the names that he used, or one of the words, was patience. So I'm going to go with patience and fortitude. Zach, you also listened to the options. You went strength and nobility. Correct answer is...
Patience and fortitude.
Marsh broke it down perfectly. So Marsh has a 1-point lead. Final question.
Oh, no.
Due to its surplus of valuable minerals, gems, and precious metals, Montana's state nickname is... You guys both took the options. You have separate answers, different answers, and one of you is correct. Marsh, you went with the Land of Enchantment. So if it's the Land of Enchantment, Marsh wins today. If it's the Treasure State, which is the option that Zach went with, we're going to a walk-off. So, Carey, what is Montana's state nickname?
Land of Enchantment is New Mexico. It is the Treasure State.
We're walking it off.
Walk it off.
Wow. We have not had a walk-off in a while.
It's been a while, yeah. It's been a while.
So just to just a refresher. Nice job, Carey. Just a refresher. Zach, you're going to hold off on your answer. All right? You're going to think about it. When we ask you for your answer, you're going to go. You're going to tell us what it is, but you're going to hold off first. That's because Marsh is going to write down his answer and show it to us. Closest to the pin wins. Carey, you're on math duty.
Okay.
Are we ready?
All right, get my calculator ready.
All right, here we go. Here is your closest to the pin tiebreaker. How many regular season goals did David Beckham score during his 6 years with the LA Galaxy? How many regular season goals did David Beckham score during his 6 years with the LA Galaxy? Marsh is thinking about it. He has not written his answer down, so Zach, you're still holding on. Marsh is going pen to paper here. Walrus King from the Snake Pit wrote down an answer that I would have gone with. And Marsh has his answer. Go ahead. Zach, what is yours?
Let's go with 50.
You said 50, 5-0?
No, we don't need a calculator for
We
that.
do not need a calculator for that. Okay. Zach, you said 50. We just heard you say that. Marsh, you showed us your answer, which was?
68.
Walrus Green went one more. Carey, how many regular season goals did David Beckham score during his 6 years with the LA Galaxy?
In 6 years, David Beckham scored 18 goals.
Zach. What?
You have chosen wisely.
You both shot high. Marsh shot higher, though. So, Zach, you win today's gauntlet, and you'll be back tomorrow to take on CD or me. Congratulations.
All right.
Nice job,
Good
man.
job, Zach.
Good work.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. You guys both did very well.
That was a good fight.
Yeah.
That was a good gauntlet contest. You all did a fantastic job.
Zach got 3 out of the 4 right. Marsh, you got 3 out of the 4 right. But
He had 18 goals in 6 years.
He's no Messi, clearly.
Apparently.
Messi had that in like 1 year, didn't he? Last year.
I thought this guy would at least average 10.
No.
He's David Beckham.
Marsh, you were wrong.
Bend it like
They
Beckham.
made a movie about him.
They did.
Yeah.
Can we figure out how to say that name? Inigo Alathobal?
I think that works.
Alathobal?
A lot to the balls. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm no golfer. I'm sure golf fans would love it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Golf
I
fans.
typed his name in Google, didn't know who he was either. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's not a legend.
All right.
Those guys never die.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you,
Good
Mom.
job. All right. What would have to happen for the Cardinals to make a move with their manager mid-season? I think we got some more mic drops on this, right? So we'll play some of your mic drops. We'll jump back into that conversation next on 101 ESPN.
Hey guys, unfortunately, I do not think firing the manager is going to help a lot because, as you mentioned, the product on the field is subpar. You also extended a yes-man manager after a bad season, one of the worst seasons in recent years. But unfortunately, I don't think things are going to change unless you get new ownership, and that's not going to happen because this has become a cash cow for the DeWitts. They're nice, and I appreciate that they speak to fans at season ticket holder events, but I don't really think a lot is going to change. Hope you all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Same to you, Holly. Thank you for the mic drop. She's not alone in that thinking. You and I kind of discussed that a little bit earlier, too, Carey.
Yeah.
When we're discussing what's in it for management. And what's in it for management, yeah, I think I really do believe the DeWitts want to win. They want to win championships. I do. But not to the extent that they're going to get uncomfortable taking more risk.
Do you think they want to win? What do you think is, if you were ranking them, money or championships, which one is more important? Making money or winning championships?
I think having a profitable business.
So making money.
Yeah.
So then you don't extend yourself to do things that are going to cost you money, right, or not allow you to make as much money as you're accustomed to.
Yes. And by the way, I am not going to tell the DeWitts how to spend their money.
I won't either. But
I won't tell anybody else.
With that being said, you're spending money now if you fire a manager that you just signed to a contract extension and fire a Pobo that you just gave a contract extension last year. So you'll be paying people to not be there. Are they still paying Mike Schilt? Is he off the books? I guess we can look at the Spo track. We can figure out who's still
I think Schultz.
They're still paying a few players that aren't here, I think.
Yeah, you're always going to have
Bueno and a couple other people.
You're going to have every team's going to have that. Hell, the Mets are still paying Bobby Bonilla.
Love that for him. I wish I would have gotten me one of those. We'll pay you 25 years down the line. Okay.
Wish I had Bonilla's talent.
I do too. Should have kept playing baseball.
Yeah. I think that this is like the most practical organization in ever. They're practical with their thinking, and practicality is very good. Mm-hmm. But sports for fans, it's about emotion. It's about what you feel, what that team makes you feel: excited, downtrodden, depressed, complete joy. You love your team. You know you're not in control of it, but you want what's best for the team because that's how that makes you feel. It's an emotion that's tied to it. This is a practical organization. They're patient. They don't make rash decisions. That's not to say they don't make bad decisions, but they don't make rash ones. So I don't see, like Holly was talking about, I don't see them saying at any point during the season that they're done with Oli after signing him to a contract extension. I just don't see it.
I don't either. Again, I said it earlier.
To your point, that's costing them money.
Yeah, it's costing them money. And again, you had no reason to sign him. I just want to know what the philosophy, what the mindset was going into this season. Because if you fire him, I would be led to believe that you had no idea or no reason to believe that you would be this bad at this moment. Mm-hmm. Like, you signed him to an extension, I would assume, with the expectation that you were going to win the division, be a much better team than you were last year, 80-plus wins, 85-plus wins, whatever the case may be. If you fire him now, seems a little bit of a rushed or rash decision, in my book, in my opinion. Because, again, why did you sign him if you're just going to fire him 45, 50 games into the season?
Yeah, it's a fair question, and one I don't have for you because I agree, I wouldn't have done it. All right, here's UPS Tony leaving us a mic drop.
Hey guys, UPS Tony here. I'm just going to speak for myself on the frustration about the Cardinals. It's the lack of information that makes the fan base not trust this team, and it's the trying to give us half information, like no end of season press conference. Yeah, Tommy Edman, he had surgery a month ago. He should be back in 3 to 4 weeks. Oh, hey, we need pitchers. We signed you 3. Oh, and by the way, Yachty's coming to the team. I haven't seen Yachty. Nobody else has either. MIA. Were they lying? We don't know. Probably not. Yachty has other things to do, but it's just little things like that is a big distrust for this organization. And I think that is the problem. The players are the problem. They are. But this organization is going downhill quickly. And I hate to say that because I've been a Cardinal fan my entire life. And you said at the end of last segment, what do good organizations do when crisis comes? They are transparent with their fan base. They get ticked off and they do something about it. All right, guys. Love the show.
Thanks, UPS Tony. Well said there at the end. You're absolutely right. That was fantastic. I also hope that you're not working on a bomb, especially with those cats around. So UPS Tony, just check in with us. Let us know that everything's fine, and whether or not you cut the right wire. Because if you didn't, and we don't hear from you, I'm gonna get real sad real fast. All right, but no, UPS Tony. All jokes aside, he's right. Their companies are transparent here. This is what we're doing. And the Cardinals aren't transparent, and it's within their right not to be. But it does open you up to be criticized from your fan base because they're frustrated. They just want to know.
There are a lot of questions. I mean, you can go back to the end of season, lack of press conference, not knowing that your starting center fielder or second baseman or whatever he was going to be, Tommy Edman, having offseason surgery, which he'll be ready by spring training. Oh, nope, he's going to give us May. Oh, no, we're going to put him on the 60-day IL in May. And so there are a lot of questions to be asked and answered, I think. It sound like UPS Tony's.
Yeah. Was that the cat?
No, that was
UPS Tony's
marker.
cat?
This is him.
What's
on
up?
the whiteboard.
I think you wrote something on the whiteboard and it sounded like a cat. It sounded like UPS Tony's cat.
Oh, maybe. I'm listening to some more mic drops right now. It could just be coming through,
That was fine.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I don't know. We don't know what, again, UPS Tony had a lot of good points. You thought Yachty was going to be here. Was that a move to get tickets bought? Like, what? You haven't seen him. What was the purpose of that? Mm-hmm. I haven't seen him. I don't know where he is. What was the purpose of announcing that he was going to be in a special role and be a part of spring training and be a part of helping pitchers, catchers, or whatever the case may be, and then you don't see him at all? Why did you roll that information out? But then there are other information, that more pertinent information, not talked about. So I don't know. And I think there are a lot of questions. And guess what? We wouldn't have any questions if they were first in the division. Mm-hmm. No one would care where Yachty was.
Yeah.
No one would care that they didn't have a press conference at the end of the season. No one would care. Tommy Edman, okay, 60 days. All right, don't worry, but he'll be okay. Mm-hmm. Like, no one would wonder or care if you were winning. But when you compile all of these things, all of these questions, and you have the audacity to lose in the manner in which you pretty much looks a lot like last year, there are going to be a lot of questions asked.
I got some thoughts on the Yachty thing. I could be way off on it, but I got some thoughts, and we'll also hear from Chris. We'll continue our mic drops next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals back in action tonight, taking on the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee. Sonny Gray takes the mound, going up against Tobias Myers. First pitch is at 6:40. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to Game 3 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. Pre-game for that one starts at 5:30. We'll continue playing your mic drops on the St. Louis Cardinals. That's all coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
So we ended off that last segment. I said that I got some thoughts on the whole Yadier Molina situation, and I could be way off. But I wonder, Carey, if the Cardinals are kind of in a bad spot with Yadi because he expressed interest in joining the organization post career. So then they get to a spot where they're saying, okay, well, obviously we want you involved, but if it's not going to be the manager and he doesn't want to do the coach thing, which is pouring in a lot of time, then what do? You kind of make him, whatever, the assistant to the president of baseball operations, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Which means what? Nothing. I imagine he's kind of a consultant that they can reach out to, but if he doesn't want to be involved full time, or if he wants to kind of be involved on his time, there's nothing the Cardinals can do about that. But you also are in a lose-lose situation if you tell your fan base you don't want Yadi involved when he says he wants to be involved. You know what I mean? Are you obligated to say that, though? Like, Yadi is where is he? Are you not? You brought up they told us he was going to be involved. And so now if he made a decision to not be, then aren't you obligated to say, hey, we talked with Yadi and now is just not the right time. In his opinion, he wants to do something different. Mm-hmm. No one asked you what Yadi was doing. You all told us what he was going to do or where he was going to be. You gave him a contract or money or something in how we saw it. So again, this is them dropping the ball on communicating with your fan base. Because the hoopla there was excitement brought to the organization when you say, we're signing Sonny Gray, we're signing Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, and Yadier Molina is going to be back into the fold and help out in his way. Well, what if he said, I'll do X, Y, and Z, and then when push come to shove, he's like, no. Then you say that without throwing him under the bus. See, I don't know. I think they're in a lose-lose situation, even if they try to explain. Well, I don't think so, because if your conversation or if your communication goes to the fact that, Yadi, we had planned on having him here, and now it's just not the right time. We're going to revisit it later. That's the end of it. But it's the lack of communication which leads people to speculate, okay, well, what is the problem? Does he want to become the manager and they wouldn't do it and they re-signed Oli and he said, oh, hell no, I'm definitely not coming now? Or does he not get along with this party in the organization or this person? You don't know because there is no communication. Just like you don't know what the hell is going on with Tommy Edman because there was no communication. So Anthony in the Snake Pit brings up a good point. He goes, Red Chandis was in the same position for years. It's not like he was making mound visits. Yadi can come and go as he pleases. I think they probably opened up the door to say, hey, whatever role you want, you can have. And then Yadi, if he doesn't want to be involved in spring training and says, no, I'm going to go. So I got the other stuff going on. There's nothing the Cardinals can do. Then why'd you say you were bringing him back? Because he was interested. And then he decided not to be? I'm speculating, right? I'm just saying. Then there is a way to say that without throwing him under the bus. But this is an organization that doesn't know how to throw, not know how to throw catchers under the bus. Or anybody for that matter. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right, Carey. You can spin it in a way where you're respecting him, but also letting your fan base know that
it wasn't really our doing, but we're still going to show a legend, a future Hall of Famer, the just due and the respect that he has deserved. It's just not the right time for us or him in the organization for him to be a part of it. And you go on about your day, but when you leave it to speculation, anything is possible, or any thought is possible. So, yeah. But maybe they don't know how to not throw great catchers under the bus.
All right, let's hear from Chris, who left us a mic drop.
Sorry, Wilson.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted by the amount of baloney. You know what? It's not even baloney anymore. It's so terrible that it's spam. It's full-blown spam that this organization is full of. It's flabbergasting to me, the ballyhoo that we have to put up with. It's infuriating. They give a losing manager a 2-year contract extension days before the season starts. What craziness is that? That immediately lost them credibility. What little they had left, now they have none. They have no idea what they're doing. No clue. They don't know which direction to go. They don't know if they're all about management, if they're all about the stats and a computer could frickin' run this team. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It makes the fans look foolish for going to the games. I will not go to any games this year. There's plenty of other things to do. I'll go see the Battlehawks. I'll go see some soccer, some St. Louis City, baby. But the Cardinals are a losing organization. They are a losing organization who makes stupid baloney spam decisions.
Bologna spam.
Man, I like bologna. I don't like spam, though.
I can't tell you the last time I had bologna.
You pop that bubble, you put it in the... I'm sorry, go ahead.
You like that?
Yeah, I used to. Young man.
I don't know if it makes... and Chris, he's airing out his frustrations. I don't know if the fans look stupid in all this. I think that the fans are just... Chris is one of them, incredibly frustrated because... that hope for a lot of people is gone because you don't know the direction. To Carey's point about communication, you don't know what this organization is thinking, and you're kind of left rudderless. So you tune in, you watch the games, they win 1, they lose 2, or they lose to they drop the series to the White Sox, and you just kind of look around like what.
Where are we?
I think one thing that was interesting about that mic drop was he said they lost credibility when they gave Marmol the extension. I wonder if there's something there, not only from the fans. I'm sure the fans feel that way, but I wonder if there's something outside of the organization, other MLB teams that are looking at the Cardinals and like, oh my goodness, what are they doing?
Yeah. All right, DJ's got the last word on this. Let's hear from DJ.
Hey guys, listen, if they fire Marmol, and believe me, I am the world's biggest anti-fan of Marmol, but if they fire him after giving him the extension, Mo's got to go. I mean, there's no way that guy can keep his job and save face after giving the extension that Marmol didn't deserve in the first place. And then he's going to get him fired, and then you're going to let Mo pick your next manager? No. He needs to be bounced faster than Marmol. He needs to be fired first, and then you let Marmol go. That's the only way the organization will save face. Get rid of Mozeliak and then let the new president of baseball operations, he'll have a legitimate excuse to get rid of Marmol and bring in somebody else, and at least it'll make the DeWitts have a little bit of dignity left. Thanks.
He brings up an interesting point there. And it's one that I was trying to make. It was similar to one I was trying to make the other day, Carey, when I said, if bringing in Keim Bloom was a way for this Cardinals front office to kind of reshape and maybe take some of the responsibility away from Mo, and we're still seeing a lot of the same results, that's scary. But DJ brings up a good point in that if you fire Oli and Mo still makes that next hire, it didn't work out with Schiltz because of internal stuff. It wouldn't have worked out with Oli Mike Matheny had a decent run here. So you can't really say it didn't work out. He, got the team to the World Series, and unfortunately, the roster just at one point wasn't good enough. So, do you really want Mo to make that next hire? I think that's a fair question, and it goes back to what you said too, Carey, that the players underproducing and underperforming. This roster was built by your front office. Mm-hmm. So if you are going to make changes that are going to matter, you got to start higher than the manager.
It all starts at the top.
Yeah.
And if you want to make decisions to get better, you got to make decisions better at the top, and everything trickles down from there.
Very true. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Beat the Streak, and a little bit of a series preview as the Cardinals take on Milwaukee tonight for a 4-game set here on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and Window Nation semi-annual sale is offering you 50% off of all window styles, 0 interest for 5 years, an additional bonus if you schedule that appointment through the month of May. And they can install those new windows in 1 day or less. Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty. They have a 96% satisfaction rate, and 96% of their windows require no follow-up visit. With proven quality and service, it's no wonder that thousands of homeowners have trusted their windows from Window Nation, and you can too. All you have to do is reach out to them at 866-90NATION or go online at windownation.com. All they do is windows. They are experts. Last year alone, they installed over 200,000 windows, 40% more than the average window company. Again, 96% of those requiring no follow-up service. They'll measure that window 3 times to ensure proper fit, and the comprehensive lifetime warranty includes the entire window, also including the glass. So reach out to them today to get that window, to get your home fitted for new windows. It's 866-90NATION or go online at windownation.com.
streaking!
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
All right, time to play Beat the Streak here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Anthony Stalter. Nick is on the line right now. What's up, Nick?
Hey, how's it going today?
Ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
Okay. Marsh, what do we got for current streaks?
All right, Anthony, your streak is 2. Jamie has a streak of 2. I have a streak of 2. Carey and Nick have a streak of 1.
All right, so Jamie's taking Newt, right? He texted us?
Yes.
All right. Give me William Contreras for a hit. William Contreras.
I see what you did there. All right. In honor of his brother, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to hit my brother and have him catching up right at the plate. What's wrong with you all?
All right.
Marsh. I am going to go. Ooh. I think I'm going to go with Willie Adames. Willie Adames tonight.
All right.
Guys.
CD?
I am disappointed in you all.
Okay.
The best player the Cardinals have is playing tonight. He's pitching. And both of you guys are going with Milwaukee Brewers. What happened about an hour ago? You had those red glasses on and you all were.
Well, Carey, the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning are still innings in a ball game.
And Sonny's going to pitch until the 8th.
That'd be great if he did.
I'm thinking Gio's going to come in at some point. That was my line of thinking.
I thought didn't he on the IL?
Come on. Yeah,
he's
but still.
hurt. Yeah, he's not playing. Give me Donovan. I got him for a home run. I'll tell you, he's got to have
the IL.
Not tonight, but not tonight.
Who are you going with?
Brendan Donovan.
Donnie. All right, Nick.
Let's go with Alec Burleson tonight.
Alec Burleson. Okay, here you go. I got William Contreras. Jamie took Newt. Marsh took Willie Adames. Carey went with Brendan Donovan. And Nick went with Alec Burleson. Nick, good luck, man.
I appreciate it.
All right, and thank you, Connor. It's a good pick, Anthony, in the snake pit. It's my fantasy baseball superstar. There you go.
I hope Sonny Gray throws a no-hitter tonight.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. I actually think the Cardinals win tonight.
I do too.
I think they're favored, aren't they?
They are.
There you go.
Yeah, that don't mean anything.
No.
They're favored against the Mets and the White Sox.
What?
Nonetheless, they've won 3 out of the 4 games that Sonny Gray has pitched in.
There you go.
I think they pull out a win.
And I believe the last time he pitched against the Brewers, he struck out at least 10. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it 12?
Well, let's check that out, Marsh.
I think he had 12 strikeouts.
I want to provide people with accurate information.
That Sunday afternoon.
Sonny Gray against the Milwaukee Brewers went. Yeah, first of all, that's the only loss that the Cardinals have had while he started.
I think he gave up 2 earned.
6 1/3, 12 Ks, 5 hits that he scattered, 1 walk, 2 runs, 93 pitches. There you go, Marsh. Nice work, man.
He's got a brain on him. He remembers numbers really well.
He does. Absolutely. Remember when you used to be that way? Me?
When I was younger.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Okay.
I think kids kind of.
Well, I usually
kids these days.
I take whatever I was doing that day. I remember what was happening, and then I remember what happened in the game.
Marsh, I
don't know how. I don't know why.
Yeah. I can't even remember what the next segment is, sir.
I got to get better with my teases, though.
I don't know if it's you.
We have Stephen Mitchell from the Battlehawks coming up at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, wide receiver Stephen Mitchell is going to join us. It's our weekly chat with the Battlehawk. So it's going to be Stephen Mitchell. So tonight, as we mentioned, Sonny Gray goes against the Brewers right-hander Tobias Myers. And Tobias Myers is 0-2, 6.23 ERA. Sonny Gray, outstanding, 4-1 with a 0.89 ERA. Some other notes. Apparently, Matthew Liberatore is available out of the bullpen, which would be maybe an indication that he doesn't start. As of right now, we don't know the full lineup for the starting pitchers over the weekend. Lance Lynn will start for the Cardinals tomorrow, but Marmol didn't divulge any other rotation stuff beyond that. Jeff Jones also tweeted out again, Matthew Liberatore is available in the bullpen tonight. we'll see if he's used and then how that impacts the starting rotation moving forward. So there you have it.
See what's happening. Sonny Gray just go out there and have a great day today. It'll
damn right he will
help everything. Yeah. Reset. You have a hard, tough injury to your best hitter. You get a day off to kind of get your mind and bodies right. You go to your division foe. They're leading. You are behind.
Mm-hmm.
Go take care of business. You got your ace on the mound. It's all set up. It's set up really well for the Cardinals to have a great day.
Well, that's why you go out and get a guy like Sonny Gray for moments like this. That's what your ace, and I think at this point we can call he's an ace in baseball. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball.
He's excellent.
This is why you get a guy like this, so they can sort of, like you said, reset the rotation, just reset everything. I think yesterday they needed that off day. They needed the rain delay just to, we'll call it, wash everything away.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
How about that?
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. As Marsh mentioned, we've got our chat with the Battlehawk, Stephen Mitchell, wide receiver for the Battlehawks as they continue to roll. You got a big game this weekend against the Stallions. We'll talk to Stephen about that and much more next on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, and we got our guy Stewie on the line right now. Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, one of the terrifying things that if you're dealing with it, it's debt. And I know they've got these debt service loans that are available, but what can you tell us about those and what we should be aware of?
Well, Anthony, it's actually a pretty unique product. Debt service means that you're buying a house, and you're buying the house as investment property, but you don't have enough income to qualify. So we have a program out there where it's basically 100% based on the rent income of that particular property. So we have customers that have a lot of rental properties. They try to write everything off, or they're self-employed. They're not showing any income, and they want to either cash out or they want to buy this investment property, but they can't do it because they don't show enough income to qualify. This is the program for you. We don't care about tax returns. We don't care about your income. Zero. We care just about what the rental income is, and that's the basis on which we give you the loan. We just closed an ESPN listener 10 days, and he got 70% of the value out of 2 investment properties he had, free and clear, walked away with $300,000. It took 10 days to get done, and it didn't even need to show any type of income documentation.
Wow. Well, there you go. If you have a situation like this, you're a unique situation, you got to give my buddy Stewie a call at 314-324-4440. He will help out. You can text him as well. Stewie, keep up the great work.
Have a good night, Anthony.
Time Check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Super Bowl champion Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. We're joined by Battlehawks wide receiver Stephen Mitchell. What's up, Stephen?
How you guys doing, man? I appreciate you for having me.
No, it's our pleasure, Stephen. We appreciate you. A couple of great catches versus Houston. I know that at the start you were dealing with a hamstring injury, but you come back in, and now this team is rolling. How does it feel to be back in the mix after playing with the Battlehawks last year?
Man, it's a blessing, man. Just like you said, I was battling through a hamstring earlier in the season. And just out of, God's grace that I was able to, bounce back, and Coach wanted me back to get back on the field. And I'm just happy to be here, man, and just blessed to be able to still, play the ball I love. So, yes, sir.
How exciting is it, as you said, to just be able to play ball? I know everybody has aspirations of making it to the NFL. You were an undrafted rookie, as was I. But how exciting is it to just be able to play professional football in a city like St. Louis and going around the country and playing all of these other teams?
Man, it's first and foremost, we definitely have the best fan base in the whole UFL. That the fans, the St. Louis fans, it makes our game so much more, live, and it really makes you want to score and just do everything good. But it's just a blessing, man. Just to be able to play professional in a city like this. I know they were, fiending for some football, and I'm just glad we were able to give it to them.
Stephen, what are the main differences, in your opinion, from the XFL last year to the UFL now?
That's a good question. I would say the media, for one, as far as off the field, I feel like we're getting a lot more eyes on us, definitely. Because I know everybody wants to, continue playing ball, whether it's at this level or, the next level up. But as far as play-to-play wise, it was ballers last year. I watched USFL last year as well. There's ballers in that league as well. So it's just the same competition. Just we bring it together, man, and it's we're doing a great thing here.
Now, Stephen, you went to a storied program at USC, had a very good career. Pac-12 football, it's a little different. You all are going to the Big Ten now. Have you been able to keep up with what's going on with the Pac-12 and USC, and what are your thoughts about them heading to the Big Ten?
First and foremost, I believe we were getting $200 my freshman year.
That's $200 more than I was getting, sir.
Yeah, I can only imagine. But on a serious note, I'm really happy that guys are able to get their ends, man, and I really just play ball. I've been keeping track with the whole loss of the Pac-12. It's making me sad, man, because that's what we grew up on. Some of the best, college players ever, came from the Pac-10 to the Pac-12. So it's going to be interesting, man. I think we're going to definitely need to, recruit some big boys, because we definitely going to be playing against them big boys as we did in our bowl games after the season when I was in college. So it's definitely going to be exciting, man. I'm always, going to the game, so that's not going to stop.
Stephen Mitchell, the Battlehawks, join us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What is the most exciting aspect of playing for this Bruce Gradkowski offense?
Man, it reminds me, it's a spitting mirror of what I was learning in the NFL. Obviously learned a lot, as my time growing up. From high school, I had great coaches. College had great coaches. I think I learned the most about football in the NFL, as far as the smarts and the knowledge of actual defenders and DBs and linebackers and safeties. And then the offense, the offense is, you'll have a whole sentence long, play that you have to get in your head, and you have less than 3 seconds to just to compute all that in your brain. And on said hut, you got to be able to do everything. So coming back for Bruce, it's just like knowing the back of our hand, man. And he's a great coach, and he teaches us everything, all the ins and outs. So we just, go out there and execute the way we know how.
I was telling the guys earlier, the offensive playbook and all of the terminology, it's almost like a different language that you have to learn. Once you understand it, it's easy, but learning it and figuring it all out is a tough task. And then being able to process all of that in a split second from the time the ball is snapped to the time you have to run the route or block the linebacker, whatever it is, there's a lot going on offensively, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I used to make jokes, with some of my friends that weren't athletes, and you see the YouTube and Instagram clips of Peyton Manning calling a whole sentence play and said hut, and they're like, how did you do that? I'm like, man, I'm good at school, it translates over. It definitely translates.
And then the defensive guys, I tell them they just got one sheet. Say, go find ball, get ball. That's all they do.
Find ball, get ball. Hey, but I will say, though, a DB, in my opinion, is the hardest position.
Yes.
Other than the quarterback to play, because, man, I know that I'm a difficult guard to guard, like a difficult guy to guard, but just knowing that, you got to do everything going, in reverse, and then you got to plan, and that's a tough job. So definitely take my hat off to the DBs, man.
All right, Stephen, before we let you go, you guys got a huge game against Birmingham. What's the biggest challenge this weekend when you guys take on the Stallions in Birmingham?
Our biggest challenge will be the St. Louis Battlehawks. Every game that I've watched, from being at home to coming back, to everybody, it looks like we're putting on a good show. And we're doing our thing, but that's not what we see. We see things that we need to improve on, because we're the only ones that can stop us, to be honest. We know they're a good team. They're a great team. They got dogs over there just like we got dogs, but it's definitely going to be a good game, and I would just say it's going to be up to us, whether we come out with the dub or not. And I got high hopes, man. Got high hopes. Call is the law, so.
Well,
yes, sir.
we're fired up. You guys are rolling right now. You got all three phases rolling. So we appreciate the time, Stephen, and we can't wait to watch this weekend. You guys take on Birmingham on Saturday afternoon, so we'll all be locked in. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you guys, man. Bless and, much love.
Same to you. Thanks, Stephen. All right, that's Stephen Mitchell, Battlehawks wide receiver here on 101 ESPN. We've done a couple of these interviews now, and every guy is energetic. Yep. Every guy is appreciative of an opportunity to just talk about the Battlehawks. Every guy, to a man, they have said how great the Battlehawks fan base is. Mm-hmm. It's not a surprise. You watch the games, you go to the games, you can feel the energy. And this team is good. Yeah. They're fun to watch. Offensively, they spread you out. They beat you in a variety of ways. And as we talked about the last couple of weeks, CD, the defense is playing very well, too. And probably their biggest challenge. I mean, going into Birmingham, they're 6-0. They're number one in the USFL conference, as the Battlehawks are number one in the XFL conference. It's going to be as you said yesterday, maybe a defensive struggle. Maybe there'll be some points put on the board. We'll see on Saturday, but it's going to be a good game.
Plus, A.J. McCarron's, he's going back to Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Could be
right.
a huge game for him. So
yeah, good call, Marsh.
I'm sure he'll have a ton of family there and supporters and whatnot. So I'm actually interested to see what the Birmingham crowd looks like, because they have a good team, back-to-back USFL champions. Yeah. I'm sure they have somewhat of a following. Now, it probably doesn't compare to what we have here in St. Louis.
Nothing compares.
I have not seen them play yet, so I'm interested to see how this all transpires.
Yeah, they're rolling right now. I mean, obviously they're unbeaten. They've got a couple of guys there in Adrian Martinez, who, if you remember, is the
quarterback that played 8 years.
Yes, who played 8 years, exactly.
Nebraska.
Yep.
Was it Kansas State? He was there for 8 years. It felt like it.
It did,
He was
especially
in Nebraska for about 5 years.
Yeah,
at least.
It was the whole conversation of, Adrian Martinez. Will this be the year that Adrian Martinez puts it all together? And it's like,
this is the COVID year. I think it was like his 4th or 5th year. I'm like, He's still here? He was there I think he was there when I was still doing radio for Illinois.
I think so, too. Yeah. I think he was there when you were playing
maybe.
at Illinois. Brock Purdy was still at Iowa State, too. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We're off a little bit earlier tonight. We got Hurricanes and Rangers pregame starting at 5:30. So we got Bet the Board, 3 stars of the day, and criticisms and compliments all coming up next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, you know I love the NBA playoffs, and they have tipped off. They are going and going well, but it's not too late to get in on the action with FanDuel because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. It's $150 to use on the same game parlays, live betting, championship futures, and so much more. If you live game, you can if you see Jokic doing something, more rebounds, I can go for that. I can go. He's going to go under. I can do that. You can do whatever you want to do on FanDuel. There's no better place to bet on all the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma City, they start off fast again tonight against Dallas. That could be an interesting first half play. They got second half plays. They've got first quarter plays at FanDuel. But you do have to get signed up. Go to FanDuel.com/fast to get started, and then you can take advantage of the $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. Again, all courtesy of FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit required. Bonus edition is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Sonny Gray takes the mound tonight for your St. Louis Cardinals as they take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Tobias Myers, the pitcher for the Brewers. First pitch tonight is at 6:40. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we'll have Game 3 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. Pre-game for that starts at 5:30, so we'll be out of here in about 15 minutes. So stay tuned for that. Coming up next, though, we have Bet the Board and our 3 stars of the day. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
You're in the fast lane. Coming to you.
Anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Time to bet the board here on 101 ESPN. Marsh, what do we got for standings?
Anthony, you are 6-0.
Thank you.
To start the month of May. Carey, you are 2-4.
Okay.
I am 4-2. And Jamie is 1-5.
Yeah, he had his second win kind of sewn up until Vancouver got back into it last night.
You faded Anthony, didn't you?
I did fade Anthony.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Was it a true fade, or you just believed in the under?
No, I legit thought that the under would hit.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, we had that conversation yesterday in between the breaks.
Yeah. All right. I was between 2 plays, and I've been kind of feeling the NHL playoffs, but I'm actually going to go with an NBA play tonight.
You better stay away.
I'm going to take the Thunder in the first half.
Okay.
Minus 2.5. I think they come out firing. I don't know if they cover the 5. I feel good about the 5. I feel great about the 2.5. So give me the Thunder minus 2.5.
That's a good play.
In the first half.
It's a good play.
Thank you.
I like that one.
Marsh?
Oh, man. Usually when Sonny Gray is pitching, I take his over in strikeouts. Typically, it's been at 5.5. It's now at 6.5. Taking the over is plus odds, but I like Sonny Gray. I think we talked about a reset for the Cardinals.
Starts today.
It has to. I'm going to go with Sonny Gray over 6.5 strikeouts tonight.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to stay with that game you went with, and I'm going to take the 5. Minus 5 for the Oklahoma City under.
But you're going to lay the 5.
Yes.
Lay the 5 with the Thunder. And Jamie texted earlier, and he's going with the Avs, right, Marsh? So Jamie actually got all his picks in today.
Good for him.
Every single one of them. So he went with the Avs, who are in Dallas. They're plus 114 against the Stars for Game 2 of that series. So there you go.
I might go to... Let's check the schedule. The Mavs will be playing at home next week, maybe.
And you're going to be there.
I will be in Dallas.
There you go.
Might be at a game.
I kind of like the over in the Rangers game, too. Over 5.5. That was my other one I was debating with.
Okay.
But, yeah. All right, so I got the Thunder minus 2.5 in the first half. Marsh took Sonny Gray over 6.5 strikeouts. Carey took the Thunder minus 5, so he's got him for the game. I got him for the first half. Jamie took the Colorado Avalanche plus 114 in Dallas. So there's your Bet the Board plays. Criticisms and compliments. What do you got, Marsh?
We got a text from Marsh's burner. I thought this was hilarious because it's absolutely something that you would say, Anthony. We were talking about Sonny Gray striking out 12 batters against Milwaukee the last time that he faced this team, and the Cardinals ended up losing. Mm-hmm. And Marsh's burner says, I think it was the most Ks in a loss by a Cards pitcher since 1742.
And Schoolboy Rowe, who was on the hill. Love it.
So AJ says Tobias Myers is on no-hitter watch. We also got a text saying that Tobias Myers is not the pitcher tonight. That
What?
Robert Glasser will be the pitcher.
Robert Glasser.
Some guy that they called up. Now, That's just from the text line. I know Carey doesn't believe that the text line is gospel.
What? Text line is one of our sources.
How did I get?
I don't know, Carey.
There.
I don't like what you're saying right now.
It says Tobias Myers here. He's a rookie, right?
Yes.
Young lad.
Yep. Well, maybe
Roughed him
it's a bulk situation, a bulk relief situation.
This is what the 314 said. Milwaukee changed the pitcher they're going to use. They called up a young kid by the name of Robert Glasser. He's going to be starting from Milwaukee.
I didn't see that anywhere.
Yeah, Friday.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. Robert Glasser to start Friday against the Cardinals.
There you go.
So there you have it. Glasser tomorrow.
See, I went on Google and I can't find anything about this guy. Robert Glasser says he's business insurance claims. Director in BRG's business insurance. Maybe they brought that. He'd probably still shove.
He's going to take care of business, all right. But tomorrow, so Tobias Harris is still facing the Cardinals tonight.
Tobias Myers.
Who is
Harris?
What did I say? Harris? Tobias Harris is with the Sixers.
Player.
Yes.
I don't think he's starting tonight. He might show up.
He went home.
He might show up.
He go.
From the 314 CD, let's get cracking on Bet the Board. We need some W's.
Hey, I got one last night. I'm trying, man. Trying. Damn NBA players. Jalen Brunson goes for 40 freaking 3 and only shoots makes 1 3.
Yeah.
How the hell does that happen? I think he made.
That's not right.
It's not right at all.
By the way, his name's Robert Gasser, not Glasser. So
Robert Gasser.
Robert Gasser.
You should be worried
Throwing
about
the
him.
gas.
Yeah,
Throwing
buddy.
gas. He's a lefty too.
Uh-oh. Cardinals, right now, and I do mean right now, are not hitting righties or lefties. But they're going to be fine.
Jalen Brunson missed the whole second quarter and hit 3 3-pointers last night.
Hey, don't you love that? Don't you love that when you put or any player really, you make a bet the board pick and then they go ahead and do it the next time?
Oh,
that's tough, man.
Yeah, hit your head against the table. Just what are you
Carey,
gonna do?
I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
That is a tough draw right there.
From the 314, are you going to say next Pizza.com is a reputable source?
It is.
You've said
Pizza.com, the text line, and, of course, Wikipedia. Those are our sources.
I don't think you should. I don't think. People write their own things on Wikipedia, right?
Yeah, it's gospel. It wouldn't be on a website if it wasn't true, Carey.
Actually, it could be.
I don't really appreciate what you're saying right now.
I apologize for giving you the truth.
What do you foresee happening with Paul Goldschmidt here this weekend? Say the Cardinals win tonight. Offense looks pretty good. Say they score like 5 runs.
Yeah, I'll be back in the lineup tomorrow. We'll start all 3 games over the weekend. Oli just believes that this is it's a blip on the radar for old Goldie. He actually hits. He has hit very well in Milwaukee. So,
emphasis on has. He has hit really well his entire career.
Now you're not listening to me.
I'm listening. I'm
He hits well
listening.
in Milwaukee. All right. So Oli is thinking to himself, if he puts Goldie on the bench and Goldie's watching as the Cardinals roll tonight against Tobias Harris of the 76ers, he's going to want to get back in there, right?
Yes.
So Oli is trying to stir up that fire within Goldie. Goldie will be back in the lineup tomorrow. He's going to hit a couple of ding-dong Johnsons, and he's probably going to win MVP.
He doesn't have a hit in May.
Okay. He's due.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
You guys ready for our 3 stars of the day?
Absolutely.
Our 3rd star of the day goes to the lineup game. Just the overall lineup game.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun watching you guys try and come up with
hard.
it.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
That was... Yep.
Pajes, no Herrera.
Yeah, it still doesn't make any damn sense to me, but, hey, they're still going to win tonight.
Our 2nd star of the day goes to Bologna and Spam.
Yeah. Courtesy of, was it Chris? Left us on mic drop?
I believe it was
DJ?
Chris, yes.
Bologna. Why does it sound like that? Why do you say it like that? It's spelled that way.
Bologna.
And this one's courtesy of the Snake Pit. I know they'll love this. Our first star of the day goes to Anthony's Traps.
Oh, hey.
Very nice compliments from the Snake Pit. I appreciate you. All right, for Andrew Marsh, for Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.